All right, hello and welcome everybody out to Game of the Month discussion number 48. This is the 4-year anniversary of the podcast, and we're going to keep this going for another 50 years at this point until the day we die. But joining me this month, we've got the one and only SMWiz and ThisMachineWill. Thank you both again for joining me on this month's anniversary discussion. And for those of you that can't tell what this month's discussion was about the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Woo! Spin attack! But anyway, people get mad at me for pronouncing this game Ocarina of Time. So, how did you both pronounce this game? Like, I like pissing people off, and I just keep saying it the way I've always said it. So, how do you both pronounce this game?
How'd you say it?
Yeah, I mean, and I won't lie, at the time when this came out, I hadn't encountered this word, and so I had to guess, and I went with ocarina. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Pull a little, Sean and Gus. I've heard it both ways. It's like I don't have a strong opinion on the matter either way.
I think you nailed it. I think it's ocarina, right? That's officially what we've all decided it's called, an ocarina.
Like, it's an actual instrument, though. This is things I learned later, and I haven't looked it up because if I'm wrong, I'm gonna have to relearn it. So if I just stay without looking it up, now I'm in like a Schrodinger box, and it can be either one.
Yeah, just got to stay ignorant. It's all good.
I guess
I'm trying to remember now. There's a musical, and I'm forgetting it, but there's a part. It's classic Hollywood where part of the song says "Dance the music of the ocarina," and I'm like, ooh, that's not a good sign for me. That is not a good indicator for me.
We should make this a poll. Like, what do you say, this one or that one? Because I say ocarina, but back when I was young, I said ocarina because I was a little idiot baby boy who didn't know what that word was either.
It's funny.
Probably when you read it. I'm going through this with my daughter right now, who I got into her first Pokemon game, Gen 1 Pokemon, and she's saying all the names very wrong, like either omitting like the middle syllable of their name or throwing random extra letters in there.
Been there, done that.
I'm stuck like that with some Pokemon, like Gyarados. I say Gyarados, but it's like Gyarados, I think.
I mean, that's how I
say
it. Or
Arcanine. Arcanine, it's actually Arcanine.
Yeah, I say Arcanine. Yeah. No, the one that got me was Arceus. Apparently you're supposed to call it Arceus, but we always called it Arceus.
Arceus should be how you say it, because that sounds better. I like Arceus.
Yeah.
But we're still wrong.
Yeah. And it's like, you know what?
I said Arceus, and someone corrected me to say it's Arceus. So I'm like, okay, I just don't know what we're doing anymore.
Yeah, here's the thing about pronunciations, though. It's like, someone can literally tell you what something is called, and people will be like, nah, I'm just going to say it my own way anyway. Look at the GIF argument. The creator says that it is literally called GIF, and everyone's like, nah, screw you, dude, we're going to call it GIF.
Because you can't name a thing and then wait 30 years to come out and be like, oh, actually, guys, you've been saying it wrong for 30 years. It's like, guess what? You didn't say anything when the world made a decision for you.
1.21 gigawatts, dude.
Yeah. That came down to the scientific community having an argument and making a decision. No joke.
Screw that giraffe, man.
I just want to say, the guy that made gifts, he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's gifts.
Well, dude, I love getting my Christmas gifts every year, dude. I can't help it. I love getting some Christmas gifts.
Normally we do drive-bys about other games. Now we're attacking the English language. It's like, the Simpsons line? It's like, stop it, he's already dead.
But anyway,
we're all attacking the English language.
Yeah, so I mean that's one thing that, like, I'm just getting to the point of, like, it really doesn't matter how you pronounce the game because someone's gonna get pissed off at you no matter how you pronounce it. So yes, this month we're talking about Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and it was a 1998 Game of the Year winner. It is a all-time friggin' classic, and every time you get to revisit this game, like, it's hit the point to me where it's like this really special experience to go back and revisit it, but at the same time I've revisited it so much that I actually have trouble making it through the game.
Yeah,
Oh
I feel
man.
like whenever people are talking about like the greatest games of all time, Ocarina of Time is always somewhere up there. It's
Oh, every
always
time.
very high at the top.
Yep.
Well,
Always.
it was the first game to ever get a perfect score from Famitsu. You know, it's like
Yeah.
perfect 40 out of 40, like which set that led to some very fun playground arguments because the PlayStation owners were very furious
Oh yeah.
that this game
Oh yeah.
scored better than some of their favorites.
Yep. And you know what's crazy to think about too? It's like this game looked so advanced for the time. Like it was just this beautiful game. And a month later Sonic Adventure comes out. And it's just like, oh wow. That's what the future of games is gonna look like.
I mean, in retrospect, Sonic Adventure was like a bump up from how this game looks,
Well,
I
yeah,
think.
just the visual
Yeah.
appeal was insane, but I just mean like that's how fast technology progressed back then. Like it was insane.
Oh yeah. Super
Like
quick.
you're still in in the era where memory was doubling every year.
Yeah, it was, dude.
And
Just old
it
man
was
yelling at clouds. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, technology was just so much cooler back then. We
Well,
in
we were
fact
just so inventive and spoiled, and now everything's just the same.
it's
yeah.
because on the hardware front, we've kind of hit a plateau,
Yeah.
right? So the innovation can't be hardware driven anymore so much.
Yep. Truth.
Yeah,
This,
visuals were progressing so quickly at this point that I had actually had a GameCube before I played Ocarina of Time for the first time. I got introduced to Zelda with Melee, and then I was like, all right, let me go and see what Ocarina is all about. And, I'm playing this with, I guess you could say, inferior graphics to the GameCube, but it was still the gameplay itself and the story and the adventure was so good that it didn't matter that it looked like this, you know?
Yeah. That's the thing. A good game is always going to be a good game despite limitations. That was kind of the whole point of this era of gaming. You had to work through the limitations, and that is what made so many classics what they are. So, I mean, and it also gives a lot of games some interesting stories to tell. Because, I mean, you think about, um, even though I don't care for the game that much, but Blast Corps, like they had limitations, so one of their robots has like a missing arm because there wasn't enough memory for it to have two arms, and it's like that's just a funny story at this point.
yep,
And I
yeah,
mean,
and I
you
mean,
look at Ocarina of Time, and it's like it was the first time that this franchise transitioned into 3D. It was its moment to change to 3D, and it nails it 100%. Like, yes, you look at it now, and it's like, okay, the overworld is completely empty. Like, yeah, Breath of the Wild has the same problem, and it's a lot newer. But like, you didn't care. Like, you got to explore this world, and that was what made it so fun and so interesting. And the dungeon designs and all this stuff, like, it all was so well done.
and I was gonna piggyback off of what Will was saying because the gameplay holding up. This has been Nintendo's strategy and their bread and butter for years is you don't try to compete in the hardware, you don't try to compete in the visuals. You come up with a core gameplay aspect that is fun and you build the game around that. Um, we've seen stories from people inside Nintendo that it's like you don't pitch a game to Nintendo executives. Like you don't come up and say, "I've got an idea for Mario or Legend of Zelda." You show them a gameplay prototype or an idea or mechanic, and you say, "This is cool," and then they assign you an IP to build around it.
Yeah. And I mean,
That's the winning philosophy.
yeah, 'cause that's the interesting thing about Nintendo too. Like, they used to compete for power.
Yeah.
They used to compete to have the most powerful systems because you look at the NES versus the Master System versus the
Hmm.
Ataris. NES blew it away by a mile. You look at the Super Nintendo. It had a weaker CPU than the Genesis, but it had way better capabilities than the Genesis overall, thanks to expansion chips in the cards. You look at the N64, it was the most powerful consumer computer available when it released. And then the GameCube, they made it more powerful than a PS2 in a lot of capabilities.
Yep.
And they lost both generations where they tried to directly compete with the competitors that were more powerful than them. Or, no, that's wrong. Because nothing compared with the N64 at the time. Like, nothing came close to it in terms of power, but it had so many other limitations that it basically gimped it.
Yep.
And so they lost the N64 era because of the cartridge format not being able to do as much as the CD format. And so being able to play with the N64 disc drive you let me borrowed, it's like, dang, I wish that all N64 games had just released in this format. They would have been able to expand the sizes. They would have been able to do so much more with the system. But obviously the load times on the disc drive are slower compared to the cart. So it's like we would have lost out on some of the experiences.
Yeah, but I mean, it all depends on what you're trading for, right? Because you play a PlayStation 1 game and like load screens, like that's just where you live. Like that's
you have minute
and
plus
that's
load
what
times.
consumers came to expect.
Yeah, you got minute plus load times on PS1 games, and it's like crazy. But yeah, that's why I loved studying the history of the N64. I had that N64 history series I'd been working on back in the early days of the channel that I really wish I had finished. But yeah, it's like Nintendo is as directly responsible for the rise of PlayStation as PlayStation's own awesome hardware was. Like, it's insane to think about.
I argue Nintendo's more responsible. I mean, the fact that they, spurned them with their add-ons and,
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, why would you give up control of your entire production revenue to a different company? Like, basically, it was Sony doing a hostile takeover at that point.
Yeah, no, the deal they inked was bad.
Yeah,
Like,
horrible.
There's no question about that. They made a bad deal, got in deep, and then bailed. But at that point, they got so deep into it that Sony said, "Well, we're halfway there.
Do it ourselves.
Let's just pick it up and run the ball." You know. And then they ended up making their own biggest competitor for the next decade.
Yep. And that's what's so funny to think about too, because it's like the PlayStation came out. People were like, Sony's an audio company. Like, why would we buy a game system from them? And so, I mean, the PlayStation came out in 1994 in Japan. And so for the, 16 months that the PlayStation existed on the market, Nintendo 64 had outsold the lifetime sales of PlayStation in Japan in 4 months or 5 months. But since there was no N64 games coming out, everyone's like, all right, we don't need this piece of crap. Let's go back to the PlayStation. Sony's actually putting games out. That's insane to think about, because it's like, if you had been able to start the Nintendo 64 life cycle with their 1998 year, story would have been really different. I don't think PS2 would have been as overwhelmingly dominant as it was. Games like Ocarina of Time would have kept people more interested in what Nintendo was offering. And so these are just the fun what ifs you could get out of game history. Like, it's so fun to think about. But this game right here, defined the generation in my book. Like, in terms of just, overall genres and everything. Like, Ocarina of Time is, the number one talked about game of this generation. When you get to, most casual conversations.
That and Mario 64, I think, are, the two N64 games that everyone talks about, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
both.
It's for solo play, yeah, but I think Mario Kart 64 is also in everyone's top 5 on this console.
And GoldenEye, obviously. I mean, GoldenEye gets talked about more than Mario Kart 64, easily.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers, the first Smash Brothers came out here, even though it was a little... I mean, compared to Melee, it was certainly a smaller project than Melee. And can we talk about why you're at the Fire Temple right now? You got to bring that up.
Yeah, so
he started to talk about it when he said he's played through this so many times over the years.
Yeah, so I've played through this game this is one of the games I've played through most of my entire life, up there with Command and Conquer and Halo 1. Like, I've played through this game metric butt ton. Like, I think I have about 30, 40 completions in this game at this point, which is a lot since this isn't a short game, unless you're speedrunning it, obviously. But yeah, so you always do the structure of most Zelda games, from Link to the Past until Breath of the Wild, was you do like your first 3 starter dungeons, and then you progress to the big boy dungeons. And so Ocarina of Time, you start off as Kid Link, you go through the 3 dungeons, and then you get held in limbo for 7 years to become adult Link. I mean, he's like 17, he's still not an adult. But get held in limbo, and then you have to do the Forest Temple, and then the next temple after that's the Fire Temple. So whenever I do a playthrough of this game, I blow through the first 3 dungeons really quick, get to the Forest Temple. I don't really like the Forest Temple dungeon a whole lot. It's not one of my favorites. It's okay. But after I do it, I'm like burned out on the game. At that point, it's like, oh my gosh, I want to do something else for a little bit. And so for the last like 4 years, all of my playthroughs have died right here in the Fire Temple. And so this save file is my retro achievements save file that I was working through on a 100% retro achievements run. And I made it to the Fire Temple. I was like, I want to play something else. Because again, I've just played this game too many times despite loving it. Like, I have a hard time making it past this point. Just because it's like I've gotten my fill of what I want from the game in terms of its combat and exploration. And so I just move on. So,
Yeah.
Fire Temple. It's where all my runs die these days.
This playthrough, I actually found that I liked the Fire Temple.
Oh, Fire Temple's fine.
You know, yeah, it's a fun temple. The only thing that's kind of meh about it is that you have to keep finding all the Gorons to like free them.
Yeah,
that's a little like I'm not crazy about that. But
yeah,
the
I kind
temple
of like
itself,
that aspect of it.
Yeah, you like that?
I do like that aspect about it because it's like you're saving this village of people, because the Goron village is completely empty because they were all taken except for Darunia's kid.
Yeah,
can we talk about these bats?
The fire
these
keys?
Bats. It's weird because you have to be like kind of close to them to like start to Z target on it. And then if they're fire and you're a kid and they touch you, there goes your shield. And you're like, damn, I got to go back to the forest to get another shield.
Oh, you didn't find
the Hylian shield when you get to the castle town the first time.
Yeah, you can buy the Hylian shield, or you can find it in the graveyard.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like using the Kokiri shield because you can move around. You know, I don't really want to use the Hylian shield.
You just swap it out when you're going to go someplace fiery.
Oh, I'm so dumb. I forgot to get the key while I was in there.
I wasn't going to comment on it, but I just think it was interesting you came back in here.
Yeah, I just totally forgot I actually have to open up a chest, and he doesn't just give me the key when he runs out. I just totally spaced it.
Right. But you're more focused on the conversation of the game. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I sucked at streaming. Anyway, but
sorry, go on.
We skipped over how we first got introduced to this game, which we normally do first, and I kind of want to circle back to that because this was like my first Zelda game. It's not the first Zelda game I played. I played every Zelda game before this, but this was like the first one I actually owned, and I did a really terrible jump there. Like, this was the first Zelda game I ever owned, but I didn't actually own it until maybe 1999, 2000. I rented it from Blockbuster and some local video places first. And so, like, when you rent games like this as a kid, the save files are all over the place. And so I had no idea what was going on. I was just running off of other people's save files, and I had no idea what was going on or how to do anything. And so I'd start a new save file, and I'd still have absolutely no idea what was going on, because like, this is just a type of game I didn't play before this game came out. Because like, for me, Super Nintendo was all Mega Man X, it was all Super Mario Kart, it was all side-scrolling beat 'em ups. Like, it just was not this style of game. Like, RPGs were not my thing, and adventure games like this were not my thing. And so this was just an entirely new experience for me, and I had no idea what was going on. And so I would just be asking people at school, I'm like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do this? And so in my second year of middle school, we had a drumline instructor that was like a volunteer that would just come in and like help us learn how to play the drums and stuff and do the marching band stuff better. And so he was super into this game, and so he'd tell me exactly how to do everything, and it was just like, "Oh, dude, thanks! I was finally able to beat Jabu Jabu. Like, I got it. I got there. Yeah, thanks so much." And so
Hey,
finally,
did you
like for my birthday or Christmas in 1999, like I finally got my copy of Zelda, so like I could actually play through it and actually understand everything.
did you notice that the as a kid, 2 out of the 3 dungeons requires you to be eaten by a giant monster thing? I only realized it this playthrough.
Yeah, you get eaten by a tree and a giant fish.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then you
like what?
walk through the head of a Dodongo statue.
Yeah, yeah.
That too.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was good stuff, man. It was good stuff. The Kid Link stuff is horrifying, like when you stop to think about it.
Yeah.
A lot of this is horrifying.
Dude,
But
yeah, there's a lot of elements in this game that are like thematically like terrifying when you stop to think
That's
about it too
actually
much.
what made it cool as a kid. I actually remember my friend like showing me this game, and he's adult Link and he's going through Hyrule Castle and it's all ruins and there's the
Redeads.
redeads, and
Oh
you're
my
like, "Oh my god,
gosh.
that's legitimately scary." Like
Yeah, it's
again, I
nightmare
think
fuel.
Nintendo wouldn't really do that now. They kidify it. But
Yeah.
as a kid, you'd be scared. You'd be like, "Oh, that's like it's like a mature game, right?"
Yeah, and yet
And
somehow
the
it's only rated
screams
E.
they would do.
No, this game
And what?
legitimately freaked me out in a lot of ways growing up. Like Redead still like give me the chills to this day. Like I don't like Redeads.
But it's E for everyone, Ice.
It
Look.
is E for everyone, but
Including that one abomination monster you fight.
oh my gosh, yeah, that thing is freaky, dude.
E for everyone.
I know. I don't know how this game was E for everyone. Like it should have been T, hands down. Like this
It
game
it
scares me. Like it scared me
it should
as a
have been
kid.
T. I love when they re-released it on the 3DS that it was E10 plus,
Yep. Yep. That
which
was
is
good.
probably still Nintendo putting their finger on the scale a little bit with the ESRB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely was. But man, I can't think about like once you got to be an adult and you're going through the ruins of Castletown and all the Redeads are there, like those screams like still give me chills, like I said. But then you get to the Shadow Temple and it's just like this is nightmare fuel for me. Like I don't like horror stuff. I can't stand horror stuff in any regard. Like I'm a giant pansy when it comes to being scared. Like I hate it. I hate feeling like that. And so like the Shadow Temple is just like I don't like getting there. Like even today, I do not like. Oh, that Keith just sniped me out of the air. That was beautiful. I don't
Facts,
like
man. I'm
doing the
telling
Shadow
you.
Temple even to this day. Like I just do not enjoy it.
That
Like the
Keese is going for
atmosphere,
Employee
the
of the
aura,
Month.
like it's just. Oh gosh, I hate it. I hate
Yeah,
it so
Shadow
much.
Temple's pretty intense.
Wow, they're
Shadow
really not gonna
Temple's
let me
Can you
go into
do a
fun.
that.
backflip up there?
Yeah, they're just rude about that, aren't they? Wow, no, can't
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Just
Okay.
gotta go up the ledge like a pleb.
Get good, I
Good,
guess.
good. Yep.
But
Nope, I
I
can't.
I do.
well, while you're talking about or doing this does turn. Actually, sorry, no, we haven't talked about how we got introduced to this
Yeah, we
game
need to
yet.
hear how
But
you
let
and
me
Will
let
got
me
into
put.
this game.
I want to call out one thing that we boomerang to after that though,
Yes.
because what you were dealing with right there was 100% a problem of controls meeting camera, and we need to talk about that. But it can wait till after we do,
Yeah.
how we got introduced to this game. Will, you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I've already kind of went over how I did, but again, quick rundown. I've had a friend that came over, showed me this game, which I was freaked out by the redeads and seeing Hyrule Castle in ruins. It seemed like this foreign, mature game that was just like, what is this? Then I got my GameCube. I played Melee, getting introduced to Link, which made me say, all right, let's see what game this is from. So then I played Ocarina of Time, played the whole game through, and I feel like I had an experience like everyone else did for the first time, where it was just mind blowing, where you're in a world with all these different locations, with all these different species. You're a kid, and then you get the Master Sword, and you turn into an adult, and you can time travel. And it was just so cool. It was the coolest thing.
Well,
So that's my story.
Yeah, for me, so my brother got this game and it was probably in 99. So he was my younger brother, but he did track and field and he took first in some big competition. So my dad told him he could have a prize and he took him to Toys R Us and my brother chose this game.
Nice.
And
Good choice.
well, and it's funny because like we didn't have any other Legend of Zelda games. We hadn't played Legend of Zelda, so I don't know what it was that drew him to this. But like we had played Smash Brothers, so like I was aware that Link existed at least, you know. Um, but yeah, playing this was very different because much like you, Ice, like my Super Nintendo times were primarily platformers, beat 'em ups, and racers. So like the only RPG I'd ever done was Mario RPG. I'd never played like an action adventure type game, and so this was a just whole new world for us. So like we struggled with this one a lot. Um, didn't didn't really have any headway with the kids on the playground methodology, which was standard at the time. But we had AOL dial-up internet,
Oh, nice.
so we could connect to the internet, anywhere between 8 and 33K megabits or kilobytes a second, and
GameWinners.com, baby.
you know, and you go to GameFAQs back in the day. So
I mean,
you
even
know,
when you would go on GameFAQs, not nearly as informative as it is now. Even then, you're kind
oh
of trying
no,
to parse information, find what's right, what's true,
yeah, well, and
right?
also because people
Yep.
wrote like the worst guides
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was
imaginable,
kids.
it
Yeah,
was, yeah, because they'd be like, yeah, so go in there and then do the thing, and then you'll get the thing. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
gotta be specific.
that
What am
is
I
not
doing?
helpful, my brother. Especially you said go through the door. This room has 3 doors. Which one am I going through?
Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
lot of doors.
And so like, yeah, it wasn't like a freebie. It wasn't like tutorials nowadays, but we
No.
managed to get through it somehow.
Dude, and you gotta
Um,
love the ASCII maps that people tried to make. Like, this is
yeah,
like the glory days of the early internet. Like,
yeah, dude.
and the
yeah.
people
The
that were
ASCII
really
art
good
that
at
people would
ASCII
put on
art
the
were just
guides.
like, oh my gosh, this guy knows how to draw the most beautiful maps. Like, I actually know exactly what I'm doing.
Well, there
It was
goes
good
my cat,
times.
whose name, by the way, is Zelda.
Aw.
Zelda, please don't knock down my tower of
Gotta
stuff
knock
that I
down the Tower
stacked
of
for this
Zelda
discussion.
stuff.
I know she's gonna knock down the tower of stuff. It's like, and the stuff that I stacked is, of course, the slightly spicier things, those GameCube titles. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
don't do it, cat. Don't. Okay, all right. You're derailing the conversation. You need to go. You're going down on the floor. I love you. You're going to go down on the floor. Thank you for
So I
that.
know if
It's
you
so funny.
pre-ordered Wind Waker, you got Ocarina of Time and the Master Quest, which I did get as a kid. And then the
Yes.
other one, I forget how you get that. I think you have to like.
It was only if you bought a new GameCube
That's
during
what
a
I
certain
thought.
time.
Yeah,
It was buying a platinum GameCube like in 2004 or 2005 or something.
and that one had Majora's Mask, so that's the one that you wanted. Majora's Mask,
It
Zelda
had
One, and
Zelda 1 and 2, Majora's Mask,
And
Ocarina of
Ocarina of
Time.
Time.
Yep.
See, it was really funny to me how it had all those, but it didn't have A Link to the Past. They didn't want to build the Super Nintendo emulator for the GameCube because all those games are
actually,
technically emulated.
I
Yeah, but the
heard.
thing was that they already had an NES emulator on GameCube because of Animal Crossing.
They did. They did.
I thought that it was because you could play Link to the Past on Game Boy Advance, so they were like, "Well, we'll just let them buy that." That's what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, that might have been a factor as well
Yeah.
because they did re-release Link to the Past on GBA at the time, like 2003.
Hmm.
Yeah, but at the same time, like including it in this collection, so few people got it that it's not like it would have cut
It
into
wouldn't,
their
yeah,
sales that bad.
it wouldn't have
Especially
hampered
you're
sales.
not going mobile with the GameCube. Nobody's walking around handheld a GameCube. Modders nowadays have done it. But not
Yeah,
at the
but not
time.
back then. Not back then. Definitely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the things that always bugged me about the collection. It's like it's the Legend of Zelda collection that's missing probably the most important Zelda title.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
So
okay. I hate this room, by the way. fall all the way down, have to climb
Oh
all the
yeah,
way back up.
is there a problem with the camera and the controls?
There is
So,
a
I don't
slight problem. I wouldn't call it a game-breaking
I
problem like Mario 64
no.
could be at points.
No. Mario 64, the camera is the most deadly and dangerous enemy in that game.
Yep.
Like, without a question.
Without question.
Without
Now,
a
The
this
question.
third
game's
person
camera
aiming. Third,
is definitely serviceable, but
Yeah.
there are moments where if you have to do like a tightrope like that, it's like, okay,
Yeah,
let's just make
precision
sure that we
walking
got
is
this
very
thing really
difficult.
positioned.
Yeah.
third
But
person
like,
aiming with the bow and arrow and all that is also very hard. Like third person shooters now, buttery smooth. This, it's like it's super hard. It's not.
I don't
It
know.
doesn't
That
feel good to me. It
it's
doesn't feel good to
responsive
me.
enough. Responsive enough to me. The problem with it
Yeah.
is just like you could do this kind of semi third person thing where you can change up and down and strafe. Like
Yeah.
it's got a couple of interesting techniques in it that were
Yeah.
kind of new for the time.
Which, speaking of techniques, we got to talk about one of this game's possible like greatest contributions, the Z target,
Oh yeah, lock on.
lock on, and Z target. Like
It was good.
groundbreaking, just revolutionary.
It's not the first game to do it, but is definitely the first game to do it right, and that's why it's remembered as the first game for doing it. Like it was that good by comparison. Because that's the whole thing. People talk about how all these other games did something that Mario 64 did first, or or that Zelda did first, and it's like, yeah, they didn't do them first. We know they didn't do them first, but they did it first right. That's why people remember it as the first, because that's the first time the implementation has actually been done well. Because it's like people talk about how Tomb Raider did a bunch of stuff that Mario 64 gets credit for, and it's like, yeah, but the first Tomb Raider was jank as crap, despite being a good game.
Yeah, even the auto jump and the auto like climbing, that's kind of brilliant too. Instead of having a button to make you jump, it's just there you go, he's jumping now.
Yeah, like it helps simplify the experience to a degree, and you don't have to worry about the timing. Like it's not a platforming game. It's not meant to be a platforming game. That's what Mario's for. Like it is meant to be an adventure. It is meant to do, like, you want to focus on the combat. You want to focus on the exploration. You don't want to have to worry about timing your jump. So the game does it for you, and it's like, yes, thank you. I actually appreciate that. And it's still cool because
you're in the right place.
Yeah, and like the cool thing about it is like you can still manually jump to a degree because you got your sidestep that you could do, and you got your backflip you could do. Like you still have manual control over certain aspects of jumping.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you don't have to worry about the platforming, and it's like, yes, thank you. I don't want to have to worry about the platforming. So I greatly appreciate the controls in that regard. And again, coming from a single stick controller, like the way that everything is implemented in this game is very well done. Considering, yeah, we don't have a dual analog controller for this system. No one knew what 3D gaming was supposed to look like. So I mean, you look at the N64 controller, and it's like, yeah, that's really cool. Like it's got a 3D stick. Like we can move in these 3D worlds. Mario 64 came out and was like, yes, this is how movement should feel in a 3D world. Because that's the other thing about Tomb Raider. That game came out and was a D-pad only game. Like, it was D-pad.
That's what a lot of PlayStation was at the time.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that the original PlayStation 1 controller didn't have analog sticks at all.
No, the DualShock came out in 98, right? Like, yeah, was it 98 or was it late 97? I don't remember.
I can't remember. But I mean, the original PlayStation games were D-pad and face buttons only. There were no analog sticks.
Yeah, and it had been long enough in the life cycle before the DualShock came out. Like every single PlayStation 1 game that released had to still be usable with the D-pad. I think there might have been like a couple exceptions to that rule, but every PlayStation game, that's why it has the analog switch in the middle of the controller, so you could turn digital and analog mode on, because early PS1 games would not work with the DualShock. You had to physically turn off the DualShock and make it a digital only controller. And so people give the N64 controller so much crap, but it's like, hey, they weren't PlayStation. They didn't get to see someone else do it first and then improve upon it. They invented, like they shouldn't say invented, but they were the pioneers that were doing the experimentation first, and then Sony comes in and goes, yeah, this is will make it better. And it's like,
Yeah, they were like, this seems right for a controller.
yeah. Because that's the whole thing. It's like, you think about N64 games, yeah, a lot of them would have improved greatly if you had dual analog controls for camera and things like that. But at the same time, the games that came out for the system were so well tuned to the controller that it's not an issue in an overwhelming majority of the games. Like, there's a few examples where that's not the case, obviously Mario 64. The very first launch title's like, okay, this camera is kind of jank, but at the same time, I don't think a thumbstick would have fixed that. Their programming needed to fix that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely a software issue.
Yeah.
But again, it was it annoyed us when we took deaths to the camera, but we didn't have anything to compare it against at the time.
No, not really. And I mean, you look at games like Crash Bandicoot and other PS1 platformers, and their camera is a lot more static. Like Mario 64 had a true free range camera. Like it was dynamic. It wasn't static.
Yeah.
Because it's like you play through other platformers at the time, and it's like you have fixed camera perspectives in a lot of places. Like you're not in control of what this is looking at. You are navigating the world through this lens, not controlling the world.
Yeah, I know it's blasphemy, but that honestly was one of the things that annoyed me the most when I played the first Resident Evil title was the fixed camera. I was like, why can't I just center it behind me? It would make shooting the zombies so much easier.
See, the thing about Resident Evil, though, is like, at least the aiming is very forgivable.
Yeah, that's actually something Ocarina of Time and Resident Evil had in common, which is Resident Evil, it's got the fixed camera, and you're basically walking around a JPEG with like invisible geometry. And then they do that here in Hyrule Castle, and as you're going to the Temple of Time, where you're just walking around like a PNG. And it's like, look, instead of us actually making all of this in 3D, it looks like you're here, and which, you know, the CRT comes into play there, where it's like it's blurry. So it does look like they just kind of made this environment. But now we're playing it in HD, and it's almost like these cardboard cutouts where like now you could see what like all of these tricks that they were doing. Like look at the textures they were using, look at the geometry they're using. It's just like the illusion breaks.
And it's funny because you mentioned those two areas, because those are the two areas like when you're playing the game, and a couple things too. Like I think the bridge as you're exiting the forest, you know, where the camera's fixed, are always very weird feeling. Like suddenly you're playing a different game and like Link isn't moving the way that you expect him to, like the entry to Castle Town, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where you're like, why did you do this? Why did you take away control from me?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a technical reason for why they needed to do it, maybe related to load zones or something, but like it's just peculiar.
Yeah, it's an interesting trick that they had to do for sure. Probably memory constraints or something, I don't know. Because you don't really get that in Majora's Mask. You don't ever really have any of those fixed camera perspectives.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that. They didn't do that in Majora's Mask.
Yeah, so
they probably figured out whatever the problem was here.
Well, I mean, you need to remember Majora's Mask required you to have the expansion pack, so you had more memory to work with.
Yeah.
So it might have totally just been a memory thing. I don't know. Obviously.
Speaking of Majora's Mask, what do we think? Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask?
I like Ocarina of Time more just because it doesn't have to stress me out with time limits.
Yeah. Like it's I don't enjoy Majora's Mask as much. Like I think from a technical perspective, it's probably the better game technically.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
From like the narrative and the gameplay perspective, I prefer this one.
Yeah.
Because like until you learn, you know, the time to or the song to have the run of time, like the game is really stressful. But then on top of that, I get very sick and tired of Castletown and all the stuff that you have to replay around Termina Field, over and over again, like trading land deeds and, just all
Yeah.
that, it's remembering to go and deposit your money in the bank before you rewind time. It's all just very tedious.
Yeah.
Bro.
I don't
So
remember where I'm supposed to go here. Wow.
I thought you were supposed to go back in the room with where the fire chased you and go back the other direction.
Is that
Like,
what I'm supposed to do?
isn't there like a thing in the middle that you can branch off and do?
I thought so.
There is a door. There's a door there. Literally,
Yeah.
just find any locked door and you should be good.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all
So
right. We'll go check
yeah.
it out.
Anyway,
Now, eat a rock.
Yeah, I
like, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think that Ocarina of Time is way more of like your classic Zelda. This is the 2D Zelda now brought to 3D, where you start off with the three small dungeons and then you progress to the big dungeon. So this is way more in line with
Yeah.
what you expect from Zelda, where Majora's Mask is like alt Zelda. It's like let's put a spin on it where you get masks and there's the
Yeah.
whole time you're going back in time.
It's the Zelda 2
3D
of the
thing.
N64 games.
Yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
could say that, yeah.
Except it was, decent.
Yeah. Well,
I really like Majora's Mask. I
I
think
like
Majora's
Zelda
Yeah.
Mask
too.
is really cool.
I'm
It's
that guy
let
that
me
likes
have my
Zelda 2 more than
drive-by.
Zelda 1.
Like, I will forever hate Zelda 2. But anyways, what was I gonna say? So yeah, I mean this game did do a lot of things right. Like, the Z target was dope.
That's
Um
right. I remember this now.
yeah, as I was saying, like you're heading over there, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Like I said, this is where my playthroughs always die, so I always end up playing this version or this temple a lot
Mhm.
less than all the other ones.
Yep.
So I forgot. Good times.
Yep. Plus, I have to give them kudos for how they implemented the hook shot in this game because like
Dude, that was so
after
cool.
like I can just look at that, like because again, I said this was my first Legend of Zelda game, right? So I didn't have anything to compare it to, but having played, Link to the Past since then, I'm like, oh man, can you imagine being the guy tasked with saying, take this 2D item and translate it to a 3D world, and like what you do with that? And I think
Yeah.
they came up with a really elegant solution, and it feels natural. It works well.
Yeah, and it's very well done.
Yeah.
And then you get the upgrade to it that makes it so it works even longer later on in the game in the water temple, and it's just like, this is so cool. You can just fly across these environments when you need it.
Yep. Or use it to, snipe enemies and stun them.
Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of
Yeah.
potential. And that's the
Yep.
other thing too.
Yeah,
Like, I think one of the key things that makes a Zelda game like fun is its items, and the items in this game, I ran right into that. The items in this game are fun
yeah, I was
because it's
gonna
like,
say that like speaking of items, the ocarina itself, what it's named after, it's like brilliant. You have an item that's an instrument that you're playing, and you just use the C buttons and the A button to play it. But instead of just like using the item and then like selecting I want to do this, they're making it like you're playing an instrument, which I think is just like so cool. You can make your own music if you want, you can mess with it,
yeah,
or you input the notes, and now it's like, oh, I've done this song of storms that I've learned, and now I can make it rain. And that's just like super cool. You could teleport, you could call Epona. Learning a song is like, whoa, I've got a new song that I've learned. I thought that was so cool.
yeah. And there was so many people that would post songs online, like, here's how you play this song, here's how you play this song. Like, that was so fun. Like, it was a big part of
Y-
early internet culture to me. Is like, all right, let's try to play some different songs. And so it was cool. People would
Well, I
have
mean,
theme
Yeah.
songs for like The Simpsons on
well,
it. Like, it was silly. It was fun.
part of it too is because Nintendo included something that like you don't actually use for the actual game. You can, push up and down on the control stick. You can pitch notes,
Oh,
and
that's
stuff.
right.
And none of the songs you play for the game require you to do this. So it is a feature that exists that has no functional purpose.
Yep.
It might be legacy, like maybe they had originally planned on you pitching up or down, but
Yeah.
chose not to remove it.
But then they
And
realized that it was going to be way too complicated for the average player to have to pitch tune something, so they simplified it, but left
probably,
the
but I mean, the thing was
mechanic
that they
in.
left the mechanic in there, and so yeah, you talk about, definitely we went on the internet and looked at tunes or instructions to play.
Yeah, so I mean, again, the ocarina was a major part of the gameplay mechanic because you literally cannot beat this dungeon without using the Song of Time to move this block. And that was one of the
Yeah,
things that was
that's
really hard to figure out as a kid. Like, they
Oh yeah,
tell
it
you
was.
that you can do that. Like, hey, you can move these blocks with this item.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't have a
when did
hammer
they
yet.
tell you that? Because I feel like that is a little ambiguous. That's one of those things where it's like if you don't know that, then you're pretty
Well,
hard blocked.
I
I think it
think
was when you get the
it
hook shot. After you get the hook shot, after you raise Dampy, I think that's when they tell you.
Because you got to be paying attention. If you miss that, it's like,
Because you
Yeah,
can't
what?
leave that
and
dungeon without doing it.
yeah,
That would make sense. Okay.
there's also
I remember
in
where to
like
go
the
in this
first
friggin'
room
dungeon,
of
dude.
this temple, one of those time blocks. Ice didn't do anything with it, but I think it's like a subtle clue because if you remember and you play that song, because the symbol is on the block, you can make
Yeah,
the block disappear.
I
And
already
so
went in
they're
here,
kind
didn't
of
I?
like
I did.
doing a subtle tee up for you of
They make you do it. I gotcha. Yeah.
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 So, like, they make you do it when you get the hook shot, and then they show you those blocks in a lot of places. And so, yeah, you literally can't beat this dungeon without using it. There's the door I'm looking for.
There's something really funny about getting trolled with the fire things where you're just walking by and then you just get
Yeah,
blown backwards.
Oh, dude, serious?
Yeah, you're
Freaking
blocked off this way. You have to go the long way.
That's
yeah, you got to
right.
go through that door there. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, see, these are trick doors. Like, that's the
Yeah, I was gonna
thing. These
say
are
that's one of
trick
the fake
doors.
ones, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of the fake ones. I can't remember. Like, you need to bomb one of them to progress. That rock just trolled me too. But yeah, you blow them up. Nope, that
You got
one
to
didn't
go
have
through
anything behind
some
it.
door. That's the only way to get to the other side. I remember
Yeah,
that.
there's a door in the middle. I think it was in that room I was in. I just did the time block before I was ready to do the time block.
Hmm.
Yep.
So I'm just thinking too far
But,
ahead.
while we're talking about the ocarina, we should probably talk about the music in this game.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because the
So
soundtrack on this is absolutely amazing. And I
so
mean,
Classic.
yeah. But I just want to call out real quick. I'm playing the Fire Temple right now, yeah? So I'm
mhm,
playing on the gold cartridge, the day one cartridge. This game had 3 revisions. And one of the things that changed in those revisions is the Fire Temple music. They changed it to remove the chanting because it is like too similar to a Muslim prayer or something. I don't quite remember. And so they had to redo the music for the Fire Temple. And then they also took like the Islamic symbols off of the mirror shield in the later revisions. So playing this unpatched version, I haven't played the unpatched version in a long time. So I'm hearing the chanting. I was like, see, that's how I remember it growing up. But like all my recent playthroughs have been like the GameCube version, the 3DS version. And so like I haven't heard this version of the music in a while. So like I just been listening to it as we've been talking about, like, man, that's a throwback. Oh jeez.
Yeah, apparently the patching that they did was just kind of like preventative before anything might occur.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of like, what were they thinking releasing it in the first place? If
well, I
Well,
mean, I
pretty
think
quickly they were
it's
like, wait a
just
minute.
stars and moons, right? Like,
yeah, but that's the
Yeah.
I don't
thing
know.
too. It's like you need to remember that in Japan, all of this cultural sensitivity crap isn't a problem. They don't care. They don't care. They don't get offended by it. It's everyone else that gets offended by it, and so they just decided to pull it out. It's like if people weren't so pissy about stuff, then it wouldn't even be a big deal. But people get pissy about stuff, so we have to remove things from games. People are too perpetually offended.
This is a cool little mini boss here too. very
Yeah.
easy. You just kind of
Like you throw
yoink
like
them
a
off.
bomb at them or something.
I always just
Gun-
use the hook shot on them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hook shot. Is
Yeah.
that what it was?
Or that works too.
I've not
Yeah.
seen that bomb strap before. That's
Well, I mean, it
interesting.
doesn't work very well, as you could tell.
Well, now you got to start slicing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember
Or
how
do
to
you
play
hit him
this
with the
game.
hammer? I can't remember.
You could kill it way faster with the hammer, but I don't have the hammer yet. So yeah, I'm not doing so well.
That's all right.
That was
Because we're having
that
this
was another.
conversation.
But yeah, I'm not
I
doing
was going to
so well.
say another cool thing about the game is how you would like unlock these customization kind of things. Like you start out with the Kakiri sword, then you get the Master Sword, and if you know how to get the Bigoron sword, you could get that, and you could choose which weapon you want to use.
The big Goron
You've got-
sword.
Yeah, and then you've got the tunics, the different color tunics that all do something cool.
Yeah.
And then there's everyone's favorite, the boots, where you have to keep swapping out the boots.
And see, that's where a big quality of life improvement came from the 3DS version, having them hotkeyed onto the touchscreen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, hit him.
Yeah. I actually never cared for the Bigoron sword so much because I liked having a shield.
Yeah, the
But
damage
yeah,
output it gives is not as good as being able to defend yourself if you're not good at dodging.
Yeah.
Still a
It's
cool
just,
option, though.
I don't
Yeah.
like dodging. I like unrelenting offense.
Well, that's
But,
the other
yeah.
thing too. What's funny is that the Deku stick is actually the highest damage output item in the game.
Yeah.
What?
Watching
possible?
speed runs, dude. The speed runs of this game are so silly. They are not serious in any way. And one of the things, one of the speed runs has you defeating Ganon at the end using the Deku stick.
Yep.
So why is it so strong? How do you make it strong?
Well, no, it's already strong.
No,
it's just that it breaks after
it's
2
already
hits.
Yeah.
So, like, if you do the Queen
And
Goma
because-
fight in the beginning, you can kill her in one cycle with a Deku stick. Like,
Oh, I
you get her
didn't know
knocked
that.
down, you can kill her instantly with a Deku stick.
I wonder if the developers like realized that, or if that was an oversight, or what.
Well, I mean, I think it was probably intentional since it breaks after a couple hits anyway.
True, yeah.
And you
Probably they didn't
technically
expect
can't use the
people to be-
Deku stick as an adult.
Yeah.
It's a glitch that makes it so you could still use it in the first place.
Yeah.
Dude, why can't you target him? So now we're finding a limitation in the Z targeting right here that you just kind of dealt with in the time.
That's what I'm saying, is that you have to be pretty close to actually Z-target things, which is why the bats kept frustrating me, because I had to wait for them to get close before I could even target onto them.
Yeah, and you can't
Which,
get too close to them either. Like there's a trade-off.
Sweet spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now with like Breath of the Wild and all that, you could be pretty far away and you could Z-target onto them.
Yeah, so once you get the hammer, the second one of these you fight is like so much faster.
Mm-hmm. And we got to talk about the water temple too, because when I played that as a kid, I remember it feeling like just like any other temple. So replaying it, I was like, all right, let's see if everyone's got this overblown or if it is legitimately like the worst thing ever. And I was so frustrated playing it this playthrough. I understand all of the issues with it now.
Yeah, you didn't find, or you forgot about the switch in the center room, right?
You gotta find the key underneath
Going
the
down there,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You have to be watching and
Yep.
paying attention for that.
So
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
that's the
like
one
the
I
thing-
lucked out on. Because the
The-
water temple's never been a problem for me because I lucked out into finding that hidden passageway in the center room on my very first playthrough. And so the game has never been, like, the water temple's never been hard for me. It's like, I find the shadow temple far more egregious in difficulty.
So yeah, like for us, like it's both water temples. Jabu Jabu, I hate that one. I still hate that
Yeah.
one. That one's miserable.
It's not a fun place.
But no, because like especially having to do the escort, and which escorts are annoying to begin with, but then you give us a super obnoxious character that we're dealing with. It's like I'm already dealing with Navi. Why do I have to have two annoying people hollering at me while I'm trying to solve puzzles?
Can't
It's
talk to
just-
your fiance that way. Come on.
It's It's not fun. I didn't consent to that, okay?
You
But,
consented to it when you took it.
anyways, yeah, the water temple was one that as a kid was really, really hard. Um, but as an adult, I think it's more that I'm a better gamer in general, and I'm looking for things more. So like I didn't remember about that thing in the center. I just remembered there was some annoying trick as a kid that always held me up. And I kind of got lucky about spotting it, I think.
Oh, crap.
Oops.
Ooh. Oh
Or
man, that
nor
sends you all the way down there.
Yep, you get screwed over in this
this
game
this
very
one
easily.
punishes you for failing a jump.
Yep, this one's
I
rough.
thought
So
that was
yeah,
a
that camera thing, real obnoxious, huh?
Yep, that's one where it's a problem.
that should 100% be a kill plane that just respawns you back in there.
Nope, they make
This is
you
too much
redo
of a
everything.
punishment. Yeah,
They
it's too
make you
much of a
redo
punishment.
everything. It's an old game.
Yep.
It the
You're getting cut
issue
off. Yeah, he was going.
the issue with the water temple is that it's a huge maze.
Mhm.
Like if you don't know where to go, you're just going to be like constantly changing the water levels trying to find where you're supposed to go. And then there's the switching for the iron boots. It was just a nightmare. Even the boss, I was like frustrated with the boss because
Dude,
you
Morpha is
He
kind
one
of
of
runs
have
my
to get
favorite
away.
boss fights.
He's a coward.
really you
I
have to
like the
get
boss fight, yeah. I actually
you
like
got
that
to
boss
get a
fight. Because you
you got to
get
get a
to,
good angle to hook shot him out unless there's another way to like damage him or something, but I would just kept trying to get him. Sometimes he wouldn't come out. It was driving me crazy.
yeah, I actually really do like that boss fight. Because it just feels so satisfying to kill the piece of crap.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, that
yeah.
one, that
So
one I actually like. Like I said, the water temple really doesn't bother me that much outside of having to do the equip and unequip of the boots constantly. And so
mhm.
again, that's more of a problem for the N64 version, whereas the 3DS version, it's a quick tap. You're not having to do all the menuing. You're not having to do all the problems. Like it's just so much quicker. And so it just removes that problem, which is really, really nice. But I mean, we have all those rumors now about there being an Ocarina of Time remake in the works, like an actual full-blown remake. And I'm honestly a little scared of it, like of that being a thing. Like this game doesn't need to be touched. Like we don't need to revisit this game for a third time, in my mind.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about it because like I don't really need it. Especially like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna HD texture map everything? Again, it's just gonna kind of highlight how the world is empty.
Well, I mean, that's what the
And the
3DS
and
version was.
yeah, and that's it too, is that I've got a 3DS and this, I mean, not everybody does. So I'm like, are we just gonna release a port of the 3DS? Like I don't know. But like, at the same time, I'm like, if I could get this game with a better camera, like that'd be nice, you know?
Yeah,
Um, so like the other thing is that people are talking that, maybe it's like the Final Fantasy VII style where it's like an inspired by, but
Yeah.
it's going to be like an actually new game. And I have mixed feelings about that too, just because I don't know what you do that is like meaningful for this game.
No, like I have thoughts about it. Like it would be really cool to expand upon like Zelda's fleeing from Castletown, like
Mhm.
being able to have like a cool cinematic of experience for that, like a lot more going on for that. But I mean, like as far as the core gameplay goes, like it's already got everything it needs in the original version and like it still holds up really really well today.
Yep.
Especially if you play the 3DS version where you can have the 30 FPS frame rate instead of 20 and the quick select screen on the bottom for your items and stuff. It's like that already perfected the game on top of having some nice new visual code of paint. Like
Yep.
that has already perfected everything that was wrong with the N64 version per se. And so it's like a remake is going to be the inspired by. They're going to be redoing the game from the ground up. The only things that get me excited about that are expanding upon the lore, because I don't know, they're gonna redesign the dungeons, and it's just gonna be like, okay,
There-
whatever. Like, yeah, I don't
should
know.
I shout out? There's a YouTube channel dedicated entirely to Legend of Zelda lore. It's kind of fun, the deep dives and stuff.
Yeah, like there's
But
a lot of cool lore in this franchise
yeah,
that just doesn't get shown very easily.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
But
someone who hopes that it is going to be one of those like if you're going to remake the game, go big with it. Please don't make it a one-to-one. If we want to play a one-to-one, then just play the N64 version, play the 3DS version.
There's
I hope that it's
there is an exception to that, because Metal Gear Solid 3, I think, is an all-time perfect game for what it is supposed to be. And so they just re-released a remake of that was a
Delta,
one-to-one
yeah.
remake. And yeah, it had the quality of life improvements that I wanted in it without harming the game in some way, because I mean, Metal Gear Solid 3, it's got all of that stuff in it that people find offensive today. So it's like, if they had done an inspired by remake, like, it would not have been the same game. And
that's a
so,
good point.
The thing I'm curious about, because we're getting the Star Fox 64 remake, another one.
yeah. And so
And
that one's an
that
inspired
and
by, or not inspired by, it's a
well, no,
one-to-one plus the lore.
that's a 1-to-1 plus lore,
Yeah.
which I don't know that I especially need, especially like when they're like, we already knew about the betrayal, we knew about Star Fox's father. Like, if you listen to the characters talking while you played the game, they covered all that already. But like, the same guy, so generally I don't care what leakers say because it's a bunch of nonsense and people chasing internet clout. But the guy who had announced the Star Fox 64 remake also had said that there's an Ocarina of Time one, and I was like, all right, I don't know if you were just throwing stuff against the wall and got lucky, or if you got an inside beat on this. But like, again, I just don't entirely know how to feel about it, and I guess I got to wait to see something official before
Yeah.
I form an opinion.
But at the
Wait
same
for the
time,
definitely wait for the official announcement, because obviously nothing is confirmed until they say it themselves. But he also called Call of Duty 4 coming to Switch 2 like either a couple hours or a day earlier than it was announced. So he's got a really good track record. So
yeah.
I'm on the train. To me, it's all but confirmed. It's just I'm sure in a couple of
Mostly,
weeks.
mostly,
Smashed up the
I'm sitting
boxes I
here.
needed.
I can't remember. Is that one of the buttons you can hit with the hammer and it stays longer?
No, it's a blue one,
Okay.
so I have to put pressure on it, and there was the two boxes
Okay.
up here I smashed up.
Yep.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna have
the
to leave the room and
boxes.
come back in.
But what I was trying. Oh, I had a thought and lost. Oh, we don't really know Nintendo's release schedule for this year, do we?
Not
What else do
really.
they have cooking besides Star Fox? What games are we waiting for on Switch 2?
Dude, I don't even know.
No,
Have they announced anything? Like, I
I
we
don't.
haven't.
stopped caring about release dates and announcements a while ago, unfortunately. Like,
No, it's fine. I just like. I don't think we know what their pipeline is like.
I
I
know
guess
we
they
got like
announced that
7 games that were
that
shown.
Splatoon game. Well,
Splatoon
I mean, like, I'm
Raiders,
talking like
Star
I'm
Fox.
yeah, I'm talking first party, not all the third party stuff. Like, what is Nintendo themselves working on at the moment?
I have no idea, to be honest.
And that's the thing. I don't think any of us do, because
We haven't gotten a general direct in like half a year, so like we don't know, and that's really weird, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious to see what it is that they're working on.
I guess you
Yeah,
can beat this
even
dungeon without the Song of Time, but you need it to do the shortcut if you mess up your jump.
even if we know that Ocarina of Time remake's coming, it's like, what else is coming? Like, give us a 3D Mario, maybe something with Smash. Just give us
Well, I
It-
mean, we're not going to get a new
Zero
Smash
would be
Brothers.
super cool.
So,
Was that?
like,
I don't think we're going to get a new Smash
let's like,
Brothers.
so the first year of the Switch 2 made the rest of the years very confusing looking, because the team that made Mario Odyssey, and who is historically responsible for 3D Mario games, because they have specialized teams that do all this stuff.
It made
They
DK,
made
right?
they made DK, so
Yeah.
they
Made
working on
what?
Mario and DK at the same time. So
Yeah.
they work on a franchise they don't normally do. Sakurai, who does Smash, did Kirby Air Riders. So and he had told us, we knew because he did his YouTube series on game development and dropped in there that he was working on something different this time, Um, so I'm I don't know if we get a new Smash Brothers. I think Nintendo, if anything, Nintendo's going to do the thing that annoys me most, and we're just going to get a Smash 2 upgrade pack for Smash Brothers.
No, I
If
don't
they
think we
do
get a
Honestly,
new
that,
I
Smash
think I would
Brothers.
be fine with that.
I'm like, well, I mean, I haven't gotten value out of the upgrade packs myself, really. Um, I thought what might be more likely is that they might do an upgrade pack. They might repackage Ultimate as complete and then do new DLC waves. But we'll see what happens there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would be fine with that. I
I
think.
can honestly I can honestly see it just being more DLC, to be honest, because
Yeah, because again, the new president is a businessman and he's trying to appease investors, and so I think that's the way we're gonna go.
yeah, and I mean,
But
with how
Oh,
much
you're talking
time
about the
and work it took
Japanese
to
CEO, yeah.
make
yeah,
Ultimate, like the next game, they might not be able to get the character licenses for everybody, so the next game would probably have less characters, which then would piss everybody off.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
they're already gonna do that. Like Sakurai already said when they finished Ultimate, that this was too much. It was too difficult, and not to expect it again.
Mm-hmm.
Like gamers won't want to remember that. They won't want to like it. But I mean, he was very upfront with us back in 2018.
Yeah. So that's the
So
thing. Like, I really don't expect there to be a new Super Smash Brothers game, like,
I
for
think we
another
get one.
15 years at this point.
The thing here's the thing. Like I waffle on it back and forth because one, Smash Ultimate is now the best selling fighting game. It surpassed Street Fighter
Fighting.
2. But there's too much money on the table to do nothing. The question is whether or not they put out a new one or whether they just put out a new edition and maybe throw DLC at us.
Yeah, I honestly think it's going to be DLC because just the effort to go into making an entirely new version that's going to have less stuff in it is going to cost a
Like
ton of money and piss everybody off. So you're just
yeah,
going to
but
make DLC
the
at this point.
the problem is that the DLC isn't, a straightforward throw it in and forget because every time they've done DLC, it's come with character rebalances because they try to, make the game fair.
Yep.
That was one of the things you know, the community has their own tier lists for where characters are. But
Yeah.
Nintendo shared the stats and it's the S tier characters and the F tier characters, it's like a 10% difference in average win rate online. So it's not like anyone is inherently unusable in that game. But when
No.
you add new characters and they have new move sets, you got to figure out counters and stuff. When they first released Byleth, he was an absolute monstrosity that could do infinite grabs on Donkey Kong. So it's like
And I mean, like, you still got Mira and Mithra and Pyrrha or whatever their names are, and they're still just like absolutely overpowered compared to so many other characters.
yeah, Pyramithra. Like I'm I'm a filthy Ganondorf main. Pyramithra is the bane of my existence, man.
Yep.
Like it's not impossible, but it's very tricky to get around, the forward spinning sword.
Yeah.
But anyways, somebody in the comments can go and, flame me for that, whatever, I don't care. Cause I won't read it. Ice will see it, I won't. But you were in a room. We got to talk about one of the most infamous enemies in video games. I think the like.
Yeah, we just killed one of those.
Yeah,
You don't mess with the like likes. The like likes are
Yeah,
they're little
that is
toughies.
on site, man.
that's the thing about Ocarina of Time. Like, this is still from the era of games being hard. And they don't hold your hands. So I mean, we've already seen in just the video example here, I've fallen down at that one part to get the hammer and having to redo the entire climb. The
Yep.
likes in this game will steal your shield, they'll steal your tunic, they'll
Mhm.
steal your items, and you don't get them back if you don't kill them fast enough. And it's a very short window where you'll get it back.
Can you imagine losing your fire tunic in here?
Yeah, you can. You can lose
Yeah,
your
I
fire
know. And that's
tunic
the
in
thing.
here.
It's like likes. That's why I said it's on site with them, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember which publication it was, and it's like because it's so far long ago. Back in like 2000 or 2001, they did a survey for like the worst video game enemies, and like came in number one for worst enemy. And the internet. This is one of those few things that the internet at the time could collectively agree on and be like, "Yeah, that was the right call."
Yeah, because it's like they're not difficult to kill, but like if you let you down your guard, like you get screwed.
Well, and especially
Yeah.
there are a few times in this game where they surprise you. Like you come around a corner and they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Or is like they drop them and it like I was to say I think that was in Majora's Mask, somewhere along the beach side where like one drops on you from above,
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
It's awful.
yeah.
That's why would you do that? These enemies are
Wait,
already
and one
bad enough.
dropped on you from above in what game? In this game?
No, in
No,
Majora's Mask,
Majora's
I think.
Mask.
Oh, Majora's Mask. I don't
There's
remember
one like
that.
he's on a ledge and he walks off and falls down on you. Like
Oh God.
it's awful. But you know,
I
uh
do like the boss of this game, this dragon that you're gonna fight.
Yes,
Is a
like
good
let's
boss fight.
no. It's the thing, like I want to touch on the story of this game a little bit more because like this game helped me really appreciate game storytelling and lore a lot more because I didn't like I said I played mostly beat 'em ups and action games on Super Nintendo, so like the storylines were there. I didn't appreciate them as much as a kid. And then once we got into Gen 5 with PS1 and N64 and the stories could be expanded upon, it's like this is where my love of game storytelling really really first happened. And again, like I didn't even play this game until like 1999. So I'm trying to think of all the things that I played before this game that came out. And so it's like Mario 64, it has a story, not one I really care about. Rogue Squadron, I liked the story in that because I was a huge Star Wars nerd. And so like I appreciated the story in that game going against the Empire. But like I can't think of a single other N64 game that had come out before this game where I actually cared about the story, or if there even was a story. Because I mean, obviously, the racing games don't have stories, the fighting games don't have stories. I mean, I didn't really play the N64 fighting games because they're all pretty much crap. But like this game really helped cement my love of game storytelling, and then that just got really expanded upon by playing Halo 1 and Half-Life and Final Fantasy X.
It's funny because I agree with you. Like there is a story, there's lore and all happening here. But the Zelda franchise as a whole, what a wonky kind of like history and lore and how there's timelines and
Oh, I
it's
mean, they retconned that
reincarnations. It's
in
a
a couple
different
years
link.
ago. They
Retcon
barely
what, the
retconned that
timeline?
all in.
Yeah, so it's like hard to
Well,
like piece all the games together and what's happening in the world. Is this
Got
in
the
the future?
three
Is this in the past?
timelines.
Yeah.
The timelines are so dumb. But
it's
like
just
there is
it's
some cool tie-ins that came about because of it. Because like you think about in Twilight Princess, the skeleton warrior that teaches you all your cool moves.
Mhm.
That's Ocarina of Time Link.
Yep.
Is that confirmed or is that
Yes,
just a
that's
game
confirmed.
theory?
That's
Yeah.
confirmed. That's
Yeah?
in the book.
How's it in the book? What book? They
The Hyrule
novelized.
Historia book.
No, Hyrule Historia.
Oh, huh. All right.
Yeah, check out Hyrule Historia. There's a whole series of books.
Yeah,
I mean, 'cause they did.
I have all of them now. The art book is just so fun to look
Yeah,
at.
there are 4 books out currently. I have all 4, and I've pre-ordered the 5th that's coming out in
Oh, they have a
October.
5th one coming out? Nice.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
because they have one for Breath of the Wild that really helps
Breath of the
expand
Wild was
upon
the
its
4th
lore.
one. Yep.
And see, that was always my problem with Breath of the Wild. It has such an amazing plot and amazing lore, but there's just none of it in the game.
You have to dig for it in the game. You have to
Yeah.
talk to every NPC. You have to read like the journals and the books, and like there's a lot of data there, but it's like they make it
They make it impossible to find.
the default is that you miss it.
Yeah.
Like you only encounter it if you dig.
Yeah, because it's like the memories are the best aspect of that game to me. Just for the storytelling, it's like there's just not enough. Like it sucks.
Can't you get them out of order though?
You
So
can
like
get them
you
out of
don't have
order,
to.
yes.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can get them in any order.
Yeah, you get them however you
yeah.
want to, but I mean that again, that's just the best part of the game to me, and so
Yeah, I mean
I
that's kind
wanted
of
more
interesting
of
too
that, and
because
there just wasn't enough of it.
depending on what order you get them in, like you're revealing the story to yourself in different ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I think is also pretty cool at the
Mhm.
same time.
Yeah. Look at the
Can we
violence
talk
inherent in the
about the
system. E for everyone, you're bashing a man's head in with a hammer.
I know, like you're bashing this thing's head in with a hammer. It's so bad.
Can we
But
talk about the Ganon fight? What do y'all think about the Ganon fight, the final boss?
oh man, I think we need to talk about other boss fights first before we dive into that. Like, just
Okay.
talk about the
Yeah,
boss
okay.
We're
fights as a
picking this
whole.
up now, so you know.
Sure.
But
There you go.
I think that Ocarina of Time has some of the best
That's
boss
cool.
fights in the franchise, to be honest.
Wait
Like-
a minute. Are Zelda Legos licensed by Lego, or is this something else?
This one and the Deku Tree are. The Master Sword is unofficial.
Cool.
So yeah,
Very
they've
cool.
got 2 official Zelda Lego.
They have another
but
one coming out of the Deku Tree. It costs
Yeah,
like
so-
$400.
The Deku Tree is 300, and it is on end of life. They aren't actually producing anymore, so if you want one, you got to grab
Oh.
one now before they're
Oh,
gone.
man.
But
It's
yeah,
like these
this-
companies hate money or something, man.
Well, it's no, they run them for a series of time, and like most Lego sets run between 12 and 24 months, and you know, and then they retire them. Realize that like there's operational costs to having assembly lines dedicated to producing these sets and boxing them and everything. Like at a certain point, especially because it's a $300 set, at some point you hit saturation for the amount of people you reasonably expect to buy it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
I'm
true.
not gonna
It
lie to you.
is
I've
true.
fallen victim to it too. Like I've fallen victim to like hemming and hawing and being on the fence about a set, and then they retire it, and I'm like, no, I wanted it.
Yeah.
I missed out on the Hulk Buster armor for that. It's like I'm not willing to pay 2 times MSRP to the scalpers.
No.
Don't feed the
Yeah,
scalpers.
man.
Never feed the scalpers.
Don't
Yeah,
feed the
that's the
scalpers.
problem. It's like society has lost all respect for everybody, so it's like scalping never used to be a problem because people respected each other. Now people are just out to make a buck.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
but,
It is what it is.
There's drivers behind that, but that's well outside of the scope
Yeah,
of this.
we don't need to get
conversation.
into that here.
Yeah, that's gonna get you a lot of comments, but I'm not gonna read them, so it's okay. Whatever, man.
Yeah.
How about this? What's our favorite and least favorite boss fight in this game?
The dragon's one of my favorites. I like doing Phantom Ganon at the end of the Forest Temple. That one was fun. Again, I actually said I liked Morpha. I don't really care for Bongo Bongo or Twin Rova.
I think Bongo Bongo is one of my favorites for some reason. I really like that. It's a bow and arrow, and you're like bouncing around.
The thing with Bongo
Use the lens of
Bongo
truth.
is like it's just every like major Nintendo game up to that point had a Bongo Bongo. To
Mario
an extent,
64 had a Bongo Bongo.
Mario 64 had a Bongo Bongo. You had to do some style fights like that on the Super Nintendo as well. So, like Bongo Bongo just wasn't that entertaining for me.
See, but like for me, because I hadn't done any Legend of Zelda games, I didn't have that reference. I just like for me, I was like, wait, hands with eyes in them. Didn't I do that in Mario 64 in the pyramid?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, but I think it's fun because you have the bow and arrow now. Like it felt more fresh that way.
yeah. It does. It does. Goma was a great intro boss. There's like not really any boss that I hate in this game. Like I actually enjoy them all pretty dang well.
Yeah, I mean, the Goma's a good introduction. Bongo Bongo can be fun with the bow and arrow. Forest Ganon varies for me playthrough to playthrough. Sometimes I have a lot of fun with it, and other times I get annoyed when he starts doing multiple fake outs because I'm too good at spotting him coming,
Yeah.
It's like, take your hit like a man, I I like the Ganondorf fight. I don't really care for the Ganon fight.
The Ganon fight is interesting because like he looks like a lizard instead of a pig. So I mean the whole thing
Yeah,
about Ganon is that he was like a pig. And so
yeah, he looked like just like a creature. I don't even know how you would define it.
he was just a big giant lizard dinosaur.
Yeah.
And like it was an interesting take on it, and I will say this much about it, like I appreciate that they tried to make him look scary because that's
Yeah.
one of the things that Mario 64 failed at miserably in its transition to 3D is that Bowser went from looking horrifying in Super Mario World and
He's
Mario
nightmare
3
fuel.
to looking like a freaking like Bowser in Mario 64 looks stupid. Like he looks
He
stupid.
looks like in Mario 64, he looks like a believable version you would invite to go karting later.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like here's my number. Let's get together later.
Mario World Bowser, you ain't inviting that guy to anything.
No, he's horrifying. He's gonna
monster.
eat you. He's gonna
It's
eat
like
you.
Mario 64 Bowser, you're like, yeah, we can patch that fence. Like we could go karting or play golf or something later, you know? Get some tennis in. Help
Oh
him
my
lose some of
gosh.
that weight because he's chunky. He's a thick boy in that game.
Oh my gosh. Like I just cannot stand the way Bowser looks in Mario 64. Like he just looks so stupid. He's not scary. Like the first time I saw him, I was like, wow, that is a downgrade.
I cut him some slack. I cut it slack just because again, it's Nintendo's first foray into 3D.
Yeah.
And everything was a new learning experience. I had the opportunity to speak with someone who worked on that game.
Oh, that's fun.
And it's fun because it's funny. He had the least fun job though. He was a QA tester on that game.
Oh yeah.
He missed a few things.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. Especially you're gonna love this when you hear what his specific job was, and I don't blame him, okay? Because it's the most miserable thing. His job was dragging Mario along walls and every surface to see if you could fall through any place. And for 8 hours
He's
a
just
day,
trying to clip through everything.
his job was to try and find clips. And the thing with it is every time he found one, he reported it, they patch it, and then he had to start over from scratch because when they patched it, there was the potential they could introduce a new one.
Yep.
And so he, for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, for about 4 months, that was his job, was just dragging Mario on stuff and trying to like walk a straight line through like Babam Battlefield and then stop, take a step over, turn around and walk back, see if there were any random holes in the floor just throughout the level, right? It's like that's what he did. And I'm like, okay, I don't blame you, my brother, for hating this game. It is his least favorite game of all time. And I get it, right? That's a miserable experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those kids out there that think that making games is as fun as playing games. No, it's totally different. It's
no, if you want
it's what you just said.
If you want to never play games, you go into a job in the gaming industry.
Yeah. You're not supposed to make your passion your career because it taints it. Now you have to like monetize and try to make money off of this. So they say.
No, I've played less games since I started doing content creation than I used to. That's like just 100% a fact.
Yeah, no, another thing I want to say about this game is that I like how that there's still that exploring where you're kind of, now that you have the hammer, you could break these rocks and maybe get items, or maybe there might be a hole underneath it or something. So it kind of opens up
those.
Yeah, or bombs or whatever, and it just kind of opens up. Now you could unlock new things to find, new places to go.
Yeah,
that's a cool thing about Zelda.
Yeah, I like it when they can tie in previous items into their puzzles a lot better. Ocarina of Time does an okay job with it, but I mean, after finishing the Fire Temple, the hammer really doesn't get used for a whole lot. Like it's one of the more useless items in the game, but it does still deal a ton of damage.
Yeah,
so
it
can be used for combat, which is nice, but it is slow as the trade-off.
Yeah.
But Like
This
you
tree right here.
use the hammer against Shadow Link, make it so
Yep.
his fight's easier, along with the magic spells because he can't block those.
Man, Shadow Link is difficult. Like I was fighting him and I was like, how do I beat this guy again? You're supposed to stop Z targeting. And then you just start spamming him, basically.
Yep. But no, the that's the thing. Like again, the Water Temple gave us Shadow Link. Like, how can you not like the Water Temple? Like that fight was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's at the end though. After all the nonsense.
That's true, but I mean, it's still there. Like, it's still like
Yeah.
one of the coolest mid-level bosses.
Yeah. I mean, I
So,
don't know. It's the same way that I can say that Duel of Fates is an absolutely incredible piece of music, but episode 1 is still a garbage movie, you know? It's like one glowing gem on top of the turd does not make the turd acceptable. But that's my drive-by for Star Wars. And poking the bear because I know how much Ice likes the prequels.
well, I mean,
But
I don't care for most things. Like, I just like episode 3.
yeah. I didn't say anything bad while we were recording about episode 3, but I will never pass up the opportunity to dump on episode 1 when it presents itself organically.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate what episode 1 was trying to do a lot more now. Like, I never hated it. I never thought it was amazing, but I appreciate what it was going for a lot more now, and I honestly would have been curious to see what the original vision would have been without the fan backlash. Like, to see what would have happened next, because things changed. Things got
Mhm.
reworked. And so I'm just curious what might have happened more than anything. I didn't need to go here yet. I needed to go to the other place. No, that's here. That's right. I'm getting
I mean,
myself confused.
you could do this Zora temple before the Death Mountain one. That's what I did in my playthrough. I was like, I wonder if you could do that. You can.
You can do that, yeah. This is one of the ones that you can do
Yeah.
out of sequence. Because that's the
Yeah.
thing, like, the Zelda games kind of give you the illusion of being, like, free range, where you could go anywhere you want to. But very few of them actually let you do that. Like, it's a very
Yeah, it's
scripted
pretty
path you need to
linear.
take.
Yeah, the items you get, unless you're doing very very silly glitches, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like dude, watching a speed run or a rando speed run of Link to the Past is hilarious. The the overworld glitches that people do are insane, and
I
the
bet.
wrong warps inside of dungeons, hilarious.
I bet.
But
Now, but I mean, I kind of appreciate that illusion of freedom
yeah,
because it still, like, you still feel like you get that sense of discovery, and
yeah,
that's awesome. It's important. But it is obviously very scripted that you go from A to B for it to be the correct path, for it to work right. Because, I mean, technically, you could skip right to the Shadowed Temple right now, too. All you have to do is do the Song of Storms in there and do the well thing, and then you could go down to the well, get the Lens of Truth. And
Lens
so,
of
like, you
Truth,
could do
yeah.
the Shadow Temple really quick. Ow.
Don't you need the cutscene though, with like Sheik getting grabbed and stuff?
Um, maybe, but I mean, you can. No, there's a way to get up there without the song that isn't
But
super
so you're
glitchy.
saying through illegitimate ways that the developers didn't intend for you to do.
Yeah, like, but not really glitchy at the same time. Like, you just have to jump from one point and you can, like, climb up there or something.
yeah, more like of a traditional sequence break,
Yeah,
not a true glitch.
yeah,
Gotcha.
something like that. Okay, I went under. That's fun. But yeah,
I do
obviously,
want to say this game has some rough edges. If this game came out today by like an indie developer and it was called like The Legend of Galarmf or whatever, people wouldn't nearly think that game is as beloved as they would
Well,
with this Legend of Zelda. And that's partially nostalgia. This is early. This came out at a time when
well,
they were like starting 3D, you know?
mhm. Yeah,
And I
but I
mean,
mean,
that's
part
kind
of
of
it
the
is
important
like
fact is that it
even
did come from a very important franchise.
yeah, but at the same time, the time that it came out,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
time is
these
definitely
rough
huge.
edges. Again, we didn't have something to compare it against
Yeah.
because even Nintendo, like if Nintendo tried, like let's say hypothetically that we're getting that HD remake or whatever. If Nintendo puts it out, it looks pretty, but it still has all these really weird rough edges that you clip and bonk on invisible walls. People are going to be really upset.
Yeah, it's
Like
gonna get
it's
blasted.
yeah, it wouldn't get a pass just
Remakes
because it's Legend of Zelda.
remakes are it's almost like a lose-lose. There will be people that you upset no matter what you do, right?
Yeah, always,
Yeah,
always. It's always gonna
Yeah.
be the case.
it's the internet. We like to
Hmm.
be angry about things.
It's a cultural thing that you just can't avoid. Like that's the whole point. Like when you do a remake, like you just have to be ready for that backlash. Like, and I mean,
The
as long as
Halo
the remake's done
remake,
well, the backlash is going to be forgotten. Like that's the whole thing. Like,
pe- people are upset with the Halo remake because a tree is missing in one of the parts of the level. They're like, put the tree back.
it's like on Pocopia, you move a tree and everyone gets mad. Oh dang! I thought it was far enough away
Ooh,
from that.
man, this is a cool little mini dungeon. I like this
Yeah,
little
this is to
part.
get the iron boots.
Yeah. And you could overlook getting the ice arrows. I beat the game without the ice arrow, and I was
Yeah,
like,
they're not
kind
Yeah,
of
required.
they're not
needed that.
required now.
No, they're
Yeah.
not required, which is, probably just like cut content, right?
Yeah, see that's the thing. Like they have all their original design documents because Nintendo's better about doing that than other companies.
Yeah.
And so like there's a lot of potential for some cool stuff in a remake that I am excited about. Again, it comes
Yeah,
down to that lore
because
aspect, but like there's cut dungeons, I think there were.
yeah, well,
Um
and the Forest Temple I think was originally wind themed.
yeah.
So,
Because of
like
Ganon's tower, it's like there's a wind going on there, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a holdover from it because when you go to Ganon's tower, you have like the aspects of each of the dungeons, but the forest dungeon portion is actually just like a wind puzzle
Yeah.
Hmm.
because that's what it was originally going to be was a wind theme.
Yeah. So I mean that aspect of it could be really cool, but again, it's just you got to be prepared for all the backlash and all the hate it's going to get
Mhm.
for changing certain elements of it. And I
Hmm.
mean, the storyline in this game is pretty tame and basic, so like they're not going to really mess it up if they do a remake. Like there's
Starting to
Yeah, I
get
really
don't see
not
how
a
they can
excited.
lot.
mess that up.
There's no real way to mess up the story of this game. And all the
Challenge
opportunity to expand
accepted.
upon it. Like you can
Yeah.
see like there's the potential to add in the three branching timelines into a remake. Like there's a way to make this really cool. Whether or not they'll actually be able to do it is a whole other story, but like there is a lot of potential. And that's the one thing again that I'm excited about, the potential of it happening. Otherwise, it's like I really don't need a remake to this game. Well, Frozen.
I'm a sucker
Um
for remakes. It always excites me.
I mean, I for the most part do get excited for remasters and remakes because modern gaming has just been a major letdown in most regards since 2016, you know?
Yeah,
And
especially
so,
now. Now modern gaming is like
yeah, it's only gotten worse.
telling you, we're
Only
going for a
gotten worse.
crash. Crash is coming up.
Yep, it's only gotten worse. Like I don't play a lot of modern games. They just don't interest me. It's like I
What's
have
interesting is I'm thinking about the intention that they had with this game. Do you have you ever seen like interviews that like Miyamoto had where he's like he wants like you to plant a tree and then like as time goes on the tree grows or you break a twig and that twig is still broken. It's like you're
yeah,
not getting that in N64.
no.
Such
But I
high
mean there
So I
is an
expectation.
mean,
element of that
they
that did make it in with the
the
magic
beans.
beans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, but it's like compared to what they were trying
Well,
to do, it's like, dude, even now it's
yeah,
like good luck
but
with
it
that.
it goes back to though that element of you start these games with a fun idea, a mechanic, a concept, and then build
Hmm.
around it. you know? But yeah, they definitely hit hardware expectations, limitations and stuff. But I mean, like in general, if you like look at interviews with Miyamoto, like he's a dreamer. Like that's what he does. And is probably, responsible for, his ability to create all these IPs and franchises that
Can
we
you
still
imagine
play
what Nintendo would have
40.
looked like without him?
I
They
mean,
would
it
have
just wouldn't
nothing.
happen.
They would have nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
there would be no Nintendo.
it'd still just be a toy company probably,
Yeah,
but
Yeah, there'd
yeah.
just literally be nothing. Like, it's insane to think about. Like, you'd have Kirby, potentially. Even that's a
that would
big
be a
if.
weird. That'd be weird. We had just Kirby.
And even that's a big if, because how much of Kirby was inspired by Super Mario?
True.
I think this was the one, right? Probably not. I should have gotten all my bottles filled
I
up.
was like, yeah, how many bottles do you have?
I have 3, but I should have
There,
grabbed more.
there's fire like in these things too. I think.
Yeah, I think there's more in here. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah, bottles. That's a cool concept.
yeah, I liked the bottles. I didn't like having to get some of the bottles, but like it's fun.
I don't know how to get the fourth bottle though. I finished it with only 3.
You got to do the pose, the pose
Oh,
souls.
the big pose, right?
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, pay the troll
huh.
toll,
Yeah.
making pop culture references.
but
Anyways, uh, yeah. So we've talked music, control, items, story, visuals.
I don't know if
Our
we've really
history.
talked about a lot of that stuff to a deep extent, but yeah, I
We
mean
touched on stuff.
level design in this game was really top notch for the dungeons. Like they really nailed it to make it approachable yet confusing all at the same time. Like it felt like a good extension to Link to the Past because after I beat this game, I borrowed Link to the Past from a friend and I played through it, and it's like I feel like it nailed that shift so well, like we've kind of talked about earlier. But I think that's honestly one of the reasons why I kind of got burned out on Zelda after a while, because it did use the same formula for so freaking long. Because it's like you play Link to the Past, you've played every Zelda game until Breath of the Wild in like its most dumbed down basic form, because you got to do the 3
I
dungeons,
think
you got to do the next dungeons, and then you fight Ganon. Like that's the same formula they used until Breath of the
I
Wild.
think that's where the Twilight Princess hate comes from too, where it's just like this again,
Yeah, it's
Because
the
that's when I
same
was
exact
fatigued
thing, but
too.
worse items.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah,
I was like
the,
fatigued. I was like, I don't think I could do this again.
yeah, the items in Twilight Princess were not great, but I mean, like, I think though, like, formulas don't bother me as long as you execute well on them.
Yeah,
Like that's for me like the thing. Like I think the formula, if you have a good formula, like that's actually a really good thing. You just have to
yeah,
be
it
able to
is.
execute
It
on it
is.
well.
Going back to
So
the Halo example, 30 seconds of fun,
yeah, so I mean, I don't mind, what we've done. And actually, that's one of the things. Like when they announced Breath of the Wild and touted it as like an open world game, I immediately was like, oh, this is gonna be one of my least favorites. I don't like open world, especially
No,
like
I don't like open
especially
world
because
either.
Legend of Zelda has so many collectibles, and after playing Twilight Princess, you're like, you remember how annoying it was trying to find all the pieces of heart
Oh, dude,
in
the
the
stupid
quasi open
bugs.
world and the bugs. Could you imagine? And then they're like, we're building a map, and like people were showing like relative to Link's height. It was a bigger map than Skyrim. It was a bigger map than Red Dead Redemption. It was a bigger map than Grand Theft Auto. It's like, you want to give Nintendo this insane map to hide all this garbage in? It's like, this is going to be a game that I play with a guide instead of just naturally discovering things on my own.
Well, and I mean that's the
And
thing about Breath of the Wild is like they got rid of pieces of heart. They replaced everything with
yeah,
shrines.
yeah, it was peculiar. And it's like, so yeah, I understand from a perspective of trying to keep things new and fresh. It wasn't especially for me. It
No.
took me a very long time to warm up like I had to leave the game for a couple of years and then come back to it,
Yeah, and so I mean that's the thing too. It's like I loved Breath of the Wild, but it's a game I never need to replay because it's just too long. Doesn't respect your time.
and that's part of it. So I'm like, I think Skyward Sword probably swung the pendulum a little too far the other direction, in that world feels small by comparison.
Yeah, I don't care for Skyward Sword very much. Like I love the storyline. I think they nailed the
I
storyline
think
really well, but
I
like
think
I just don't enjoy playing the game.
Skyward Sword, I think, has one of the better Legend of Zelda stories,
Oh yeah,
but it's
hands
held
down.
it's held back by its level design and some of the game
Controls.
decisions they made. The controls, like,
Controls are a big part of it because I would try to do it on the Wii and I'd pull the nunchuck out all the time just
see,
because I'm
Oh
tall.
god.
I never pulled the nunchuck out, but I felt like I had to recalibrate the Wiimote a lot more than was reasonable.
Oh yeah, all the time. Put it flat on the
So
ground. It's like, dang it.
yeah,
But yeah, they had to do that all the time. But yeah, I would seriously end up ripping the nunchuck out of the Wiimote trying to do some of the moves just because like they wouldn't register unless I'm doing them like very intentionally, and then like my hands would go so far apart, it just go pop. Like I'm surprised
yeah,
my Wiimote actually still works.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have that
But
on Wii.
I mean,
Like I
like, I will
started
say it
streaming
was
it. I started streaming it for the Switch remake or the Switch port, but I stopped again. Like I just those
see, and
these
it's funny
games
because
these games unfortunately just burn me out now, like so fast.
yeah, I would love to see a return though to this, formula. Like, not trying to throw shade at Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but like I feel like we've had our fun. We did our excursion. Like, let's get back to like traditional dungeon puzzles and like items that I want to reuse throughout the game and stuff.
Yeah, agreed,
Like,
agreed.
so, like,
Because
honestly, we're talking things I don't here's a hot take, it's like, if we wanted to do, like, a spiritual remake, kinda like the Final Fantasy VII treatment got or whatever, I don't think I need that for Ocarina of Time. I'd be very curious to see what you do with a 3D world for Link to the Past.
yes, because I mean we got kind of a
Build new
taste of that.
puzzles and stuff like that.
We kind of
Yeah,
got a
'cause
taste of it with Link Between
Link
Worlds.
Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds is a great game. I mean, at this point, I'd almost even just like settle for like a console port of that game.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But yeah, I'd love, like a deep dive into that type of a game.
I missed a gem somewhere, didn't I?
It's that behind you.
Oh, it's in the ice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Derp. Of course,
And
You
now
know
I
what's
think
another
everybody's
thing
just
about this game is the rupees and the items. In Breath of the Wild, getting rupees and items is like it's like difficult to do that. You have to be like selling things really, but in this game, you just cut some grass and then you're full on rupees, full on items. It's like, why are there shops? Does anyone actually buy anything from the shops?
they give you so many
And
because a like is going to steal your tunic and you have to pay 200 rupees to get it
yeah,
back.
true.
yeah, legit. I didn't have that problem this time, but yeah, as a kid, yeah, I bought a fire tunic 2 or 3 times, or like a water tunic. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's it. Like no one's going in there being like, "Let me buy some bombs. Let me buy some arrows."
Well, I mean, it depends on how good you are at the game because I had to go into the Goron shop to buy some Deku sticks for
Hmm.
Jabu Jabu, or not Jabu Jabu, for the Dongo Cavern because I wasn't being fast enough lighting the torches and I didn't have very many left over from the Forest
Your
Temple.
time,
So,
the Forest Temple, yeah, because I think you
from
can
the
only hold
Deku
10,
tree.
right?
Yeah, you can only hold 10 to start
You can
with.
only hold 10, so yeah.
I think you can expand that. I don't remember if you can expand that or not. But yeah,
And you
so
need
it's
to
like I
unlock
did
getting.
not have those. So like I've used the shops when I first started playing this game quite considerably. Like maybe if I
Yeah, you got
played
to
it first
unlock
as an
the
adult, I wouldn't
bigger
have. But
wallets,
yeah, the bigger
which is
wallets
like
unlocking is
Yeah.
annoying. Got to
Well,
get
and
the
that's the
weird.
got to get the
dude,
sculptulas, scotolas, or whatever you want to pronounce those as.
the That's the thing that was really insulting. Like that should have been the first warning to Breath of the Wild players that collecting the Korok seeds was not going to be worth it. It's like, hey, remember your reward for all the gold Skulltulas? You got the giant wallet. It's like, haven't you beaten the game by that point? Yes, you
Pretty
have.
much.
So what
Pretty
does the
much.
wallet do for you? Absolutely nothing.
Nope.
So what's the point then? It's like there isn't one.
Nope. Not really.
I
Not
like
really.
how you like rescue 5 of the Skulltulas, and then the last guy is still a monster, and he's like, "No, I'm good being a monster." And it's like, what? You don't want me to save you too? Can you save him?
I don't remember, honestly. I've only ever 100%ed this game on the 3DS port, and I don't remember much about it. Don't remember much about that playthrough at all at this point, unfortunately.
We used game facts at some point after it had gotten better to find where all the Skulltulas were. We did it one time, and then we were super angry because the wallet was a just completely pointless reward.
Oh
So never
man.
It
did
goes
never
up to
did it again.
500.
Yeah, but the thing is that like you're so deep in the game by that point that like you've beaten the game.
And you really
Like
Yeah,
don't need
like
money
no
for
point.
much, like you were
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
yeah.
It's just kind of a pointless metric.
Yeah, the rumble thing, that's useful,
Oh yeah, the Stone
right?
of
Where it
Agony.
rumbles. Yeah.
The Stone of
That
Agony.
like I actually had to look up what it was trying to tell me because I'd be like somewhere in my control be rumbling. I'm like, what is it trying to tell me?
Yeah,
You have to use a bomb or Song of Storms
that one's
or
funny.
Lens of Truth, maybe.
That one is really funny to me because it's like no other version of the game has the Stone of Agony. So you could only use it on the original N64 version. So the virtual console versions took it out. And
Didn't the 3DS version put it back in?
3DS doesn't have Rumble.
No, I thought it's been so long since I played it when it first came out, like back in 2013. Didn't they put like an indicator on the screen or something, like a flashing
Oh
or
yeah, maybe they did. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
See, I just did this
hold on,
slide puzzle and I already forgot how to do it. I literally just did this. And I'm like, I don't remember how to get over there anymore. Stupid. Ah, dang it. Oh no, I remember now. I remember berries. Okay.
To the left, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they didn't have the Stone of Agony in the 3DS. They replaced it with the Shard of Agony that uses audiovisual cues.
Yeah, there you go. Because
I was
yeah,
like,
the
I was feeling like I swear there was something when I played through it that was doing that same thing.
yeah. So I mean, if you played this on the Wii or Wii U Virtual Console, you didn't get that rumble feedback, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, that's weird. The Wii U, that's got rumble.
Yeah, the Wii U gamepad has rumble in it, so you'd expect it to work,
Yeah.
but I don't think it did.
Weird.
Someone can actually me about that.
Yeah. We don't know enough.
I don't remember. Been too long since I
Yeah,
played the Wii
and I
U
don't
version.
remember whether or not they had it in the GameCube version or not, because it's been too long since I played that too.
GameCube version did have
they
it.
do.
GameCube version did have
Yeah.
it. Because it asks you if you want to enable Rumble in the GameCube version.
I remember
Yeah,
asking if you want to enable Rumble. I just couldn't remember if that was for the Stone or if it was for something else, like bombs and
Yeah,
combat bits or
it works
whatever.
for the Stone too, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
I played the normal and master version on the GameCube that you got back there. So firsthand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Firsthand
I
verification.
mean,
We
I
need to
did too, but more than 20 years ago, so I don't remember.
yeah, we need to talk about Master Quest real quick though,
Yep.
because we have not touched on that at all, and it needs to be talked about.
Yep.
Because it was originally planned to be a disk drive expansion to Ocarina of Time, just like the F-Zero expansion pack was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is just a completely, like, it's the same world, it's the same game, but it is just completely rebalanced and repurposed.
Well,
I thought it was the
they've moved.
dungeons.
They've
It's
changed
everything.
things. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's New Game Plus basically,
Yeah.
and
And it makes
everything old is new again.
it makes so many weird changes that I just find absolutely hilarious. So going back to our least favorite dungeon with Jabu Jabu, like there's cows stuck inside Jabu Jabu's stomach. You just see the cow head sticking out of the walls, and you have to hit him with a slingshot to open up like they act as the switches. Like it's so
Yep.
funny.
Because
I totally forgot about that.
Like it's so freaking funny. And so the one thing that I think that Master Quest like corrected on the base game though is the use of bomb chews. Because you never have to use bomb chews in Ocarina of Time. They're just something for the mini game to get a piece of heart. Like that's all they're used for. You can use them in dungeons and stuff if you can line up the shots to make them work, but it's like they're never required. And then you play Master Quest, it's like, okay, so this worthless item is now mandatory. And it's like, thank you for giving these a purpose. And it makes the Spirit Temple really cool because you have to line up the shot to get it to go through the walls to hit the switches. And it's like, man, that is really cool. And so we first got access to that, at least here in North America, with that pre-order bonus disc that had them both on here. And so like this is the only official way to have gotten it. And so people have pulled the ROM off of this disc and have ROM hacked it so you can play it on N64. They've restored the proper button prompts and all that stuff. So like it's really cool that you can actually play this on a real N64 now. And then with the 3DS re-release, the 3DS HD remaster, as we call it. Yeah, as I call it, I guess. But it also includes Master Quest once you beat the original game. And they did the thing where they flip the world. They mirror the world on it.
Oh, no.
For the 3DS version, which I am not happy about. Like, I would have loved to have played through...
They gave us the Twilight Princess treatment.
Exactly. I would have been super happy to play through Master Quest on the 3DS version, but they mirrored the world, so I lost interest in that version immediately, and I never beat it.
For no reason? They were just like, it's different
just to make
now.
it harder. Like, Master Quest is already harder to begin with as a game than Ocarina of Time is. Like, it's hard mode. And so they just mirrored the world on you. And so it's like, no, I never need to play this version. Like, I don't need the world mirrored on me. Like, the only reason they mirrored Twilight Princess was because the majority of the world is right-handed, and so they made it so you swing your sword with your right hand in the Wii version of Twilight Princess. Like, the real map of that game is the GameCube's version.
Thank you. I was going to get on my soapbox about this as soon as you mentioned a flipped map, because this is the thing that annoys me that people get wrong all the time. Because they say they flipped the map for the GameCube version. No, they didn't. The GameCube is the original build, and they held the game back to drive the Wii sales, the console sales. They flipped the map for the Wii version. Link is left-handed, but they made him right-handed for the Wii version, okay? So many people get this wrong. It's a small thing, but it bothers me because people are way too confident in being wrong about this.
Yeah, it's
because they point to the release date. The GameCube came later, and it's like that game was ready, and they held it back. They delayed its release to drive Wii console sales.
That's a dumb thing too, because it's like the GameCube version was done for months. Like they could have released it months before the Wii came out. Yes, and they decided to hold it back for months after the Wii launched. And like, it's so dumb. It's like, people would have double dipped on it. People still double dipped on it. Like, because the Wii was impossible to get for 2 years. Like, the Wii was an impossible system to get for 2 years straight. Like, this is when I worked at GameStop. Like, we would get a shipment in and it would be gone in 10 minutes. Like, people waited outside the door every Tuesday for shipments. And, like, they were just gone as soon as we opened the box. And so...
Same thing with 360.
Yeah, there was more 360s, thankfully.
Before you buy everything online, you had to be ready to fight a person for things.
Yeah. And so, like, it was insane. So it's like, they held back the GameCube version of it, despite it being ready months in advance. And not only that, like, the way they handled the GameCube version of that game is just so disrespectful. So, not only was it held back when it could have been released months earlier, gotten a good bunch of sales, then people upgraded to the Wii, and they would have gotten the Wii version anyway. Like, a
for the
few
motion
people would have
control.
just used the back compad. Like, don't get me wrong, not everyone would
Yeah.
have upgraded. But at the same time, there were going to be plenty of people that double dipped on it. You lost out on a crap ton of sales because of this. So, I mean, we didn't have a Wii. I bought the GameCube version. And then I got the Wii and got the Wii version and redid it. So it's like, I'm one of the people that double dipped on it, even though I didn't even like that game very much.
Yeah,
And
and I triple
so,
dipped because I got the Wii U version.
yeah, I
as
got,
well.
yeah, triple dipped Wii U version. Yep. And so, like, it was stupid. And not only that, they disrespected the game on GameCube by not including its widescreen mode on the GameCube version. The GameCube
That's
version
weird.
does not have widescreen support.
That's
It does
weird.
not.
Especially weird, especially because they had component cables for that console.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even need component cables to get widescreen. It was
but I mean,
anamorphic widescreen, so it's still a
I-
4x3 box, and you just stretch it out to your TV in the settings. And, like,
Mhm.
that's nothing. You don't have to do anything to allow that. Like, you left that out specifically to tout it as an upgrade for the Wii version. Like,
Yeah.
the GameCube version could have done it too. Like,
No,
you
they
already had the code base to do it.
They did Twilight Princess so dirty across the board that
Yeah.
way, but
Yeah, I mean, it's not, like I said, I don't like that game very much to begin with anyway, but I still get
Yeah.
infuriated thinking about how there's these cutbacks to specific versions that didn't need to be cut back on because it was perfectly capable of doing it.
Yep.
It's like, there's plenty of games on GameCube that are running in anamorphic widescreen. Plenty. And it's like, nah, we're not going to let you do that on this version just so we can use it as an upselling point for this version. And it's like, no, I would go back and play the GameCube version so much more.
And it's just funny too because again, like to your point, it was ready such a long time before the Wii was ready that you could have released it and people would have ate it up. And then when the Wii is ready, you release it and your whole marketing push, the sales pitches, now you are Link.
Yeah.
You're not controlling him. You are, you do
Yeah.
the whole commercial flair because this is again all the time. None of us had streaming services. We were
Yep.
all watching TV with commercials on it still.
Yep.
It's like that's your whole marketing campaign is, showing off the motion and that you are Link,
Yeah. And
'Cause-
again,
Because I
people would
gotta
have
tell you,
double dipped.
it was satisfying to shield bash a guy in the game,
Yeah. Like,
Even if
that's
it
the
wasn't
thing. I think
necessarily
Twilight
physically, just the
Princess,
disrespect of
Yeah.
basically punching somebody in that game.
I think Twilight Princess had the better motion controls than Skyward Sword.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Like, they tried to be too involved with Skyward Sword, and I think it was to the detriment of the game. But, oh well.
Yeah. But anyways.
Were you all surprised by the Sheik plot twist that she's Zelda?
Yes.
Spoilers. Yeah. Yeah.
I was.
28-year-old spoiler.
Everyone
yeah.
cover your ears.
Well, it blew your mind, and in part too because if you were one of those who read the instruction manual, it didn't give you a clue that this was going to happen. It referred to Sheik as if they were a separate character, calling that he and him, and everything like that. And
Mhm.
so it really sets you up to think that these are two different people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had
so-
played Melee, so like I already knew basically. So
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
But again, like so Melee came out in 2001. So like if you
Yeah.
had played this at the time, it would have been quite the twist.
Yeah. So no, I remember getting to that and being like, oh crap, that's crazy. I went the wrong way. So yeah, that plot twist really got me. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I think one of the cooler elements of a Zelda game is when they actually make Zelda a useful character in the plot line. So having that reveal that Zelda was helping you the whole time, like, really amplifies the experience to me. And that's another
Cool.
reason why I hated Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess
and-
Zelda is the stupidest Zelda of the entire franchise.
two different things to talk about there then. So one with that, that she's helping you the whole time plays in really cool to the narrative of this story because when you meet her as a child, she asks for your help. She's the one who's first identified that Ganondorf is not trustworthy. She's the one who's trying to raise the alarm and defend the kingdom, and she recruits you to her cause. So it's
Mm-hmm.
cool that you come into this, and even though, Impa had to take her and flee the castle, she has not abandoned the quest.
Oh,
She's been doing what she could those 7 years that you were in hibernation. So
yeah.
I think that's cool. And then for the Twilight Princess thing, I wish I'd have to dig in a box someplace to find, um, again, changes they did with Twilight Princess. Because in Nintendo Power itself, they had an interview long before the game came out. I think this might have been it was probably '04, but they had an issue talking about the upcoming game after they had announced it, and they said in there that, like talking about like Link changing into a wolf because things can't exist in the Twilight realm in the same state that they do in the Light realm, and that they said that Link is the wolf, and they straight up said in this interview that Zelda was the imp riding on your back. So at some point that changed, you know, and became a separate character, assuming they weren't just lying to us.
Right.
So
Yeah,
like,
maybe it was like a translation error or someone had something wrong there or something.
I don't
yeah,
even
I don't
know,
know.
man.
Or they changed the story and rewrote it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who
which happens a
knows?
lot.
It happens. You get into development and you start seeing things aren't working the way you want them to work and you change something. So like for me that because I'd read this interview, I was actually quite surprised again when I was playing Twilight Princess and they showed Impa and Zelda together, and you're like, oh wait, they're separate this time. It's not the same person. I got the reverse Sheik reveal on me.
The
Yeah.
reverse.
But no,
That's cool.
I hated Twilight Princess Zelda so much. Like she rolled over and sold out her kingdom to Ganon rather than fighting because it's like, no, it would have cost too many lives. It's like, B, please, all those lives got costed anyway by you rolling over.
I was like, the only life she spared was her own.
Yeah, and even then, she becomes someone you have to tear apart in the end of the game because Ganondorf takes her over. And so it's like, she was an awful Princess Zelda. The only thing was that she looked really cool. But it's like she was seriously the worst Zelda in the franchise. Like even worse than the Zelda that was put to sleep.
I was like, worse than the Zelda 2 Zelda, who's just, Sleeping
Yes.
Beauty the entire game.
Yes, even worse than that, because like that poor Zelda had nothing. Like she couldn't do anything. She was asleep. She was cursed.
What
Twilight
about the
Princess
CGI
Zelda
Zelda?
literally caused
Better at
all of the
dodging
problems.
curses.
Twilight Princess Zelda literally caused all of the problems of the kingdom.
I mean, I feel like Ganondorf caused some of the problems of the kingdom. I'm just gonna
Well,
throw
no,
it
I
out
mean he
there.
did obviously,
Couple
but you
issues.
don't roll over. You don't roll over to the megalomaniac that wants to take over your country. You fight him.
That's true.
Yeah, the problem is his forces had breached the castle, and at that point, it's
You
like,
still fight, man. You don't roll
yeah,
over
she,
because it's like all
yeah.
the
I
people
mean,
that were gonna die are gonna die anyway.
she saved her own skin.
Yeah,
Like,
she sucked. Like I'm sorry,
I
Twilight
love
Princess
this
Zelda
giant
sucked.
King Zora. The
weep,
King Zora that just like
weep,
scoots his butt
weep,
for like
Weep,
9
weep,
minutes.
weep.
And he's just sitting. It's not even a throne or anything. He's just sitting on a ledge.
Yeah,
But yeah, he
He's
gives you
not
a
very good
free
at defending his
Zora
kingdom.
tunic. So I forgot that he gives you a free Zora tunic, so I didn't want to have to go buy one.
Oh
so
yeah.
yep.
He's
Honestly,
letting his
this is
daughter being eaten whole by Lord Jabu Jabu numerous times throughout her childhood.
yep.
No cause for concern there.
But I mean, we also need to take into account that Jabu Jabu, who's died in the last 7 years.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that too.
Ganondorf
I always
killed
just
him.
thought he disappeared or something.
Yeah, so he's dead. He's
Yeah,
gone.
Ganondorf got him. Just
That-
like got the Great Deku Tree.
Is that what happened?
I believe.
I don't remember.
Now you're gonna make me.
I don't remember. I mean, it's very possible, very believable that that is what happened.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
I forgot that I just literally got a song that could warp me to where I need to go from here, but I liked that we also had a system of fast travel in this game. Like that was sick. Because
Yeah.
imagine having to walk everywhere in this game. I mean, they gave you Epona, which is nice because it would have really helped as well.
Question: what's faster, rolling or running?
Backwards walking.
Yeah, the speedrunners backwards walk everywhere. But
I did not know that.
for forward motion, I believe
I think it's rolling.
rolling, if you're okay with button mashing, is
Yeah.
faster.
But no, the fastest way to go anywhere in this game is to do this. You line up to where you want to go. So it's like, okay, I want to go that way. Gonna flip around, and then we just do this. No, straight back. There you go. Come on, straight back. There you go. That is how you go. That is
Look
your
at that.
fastest movement speed right here.
Huh.
Yep.
Really silly.
And also, rolling is called attack. What's up with that? You never use that as an attack.
Well, you can hit things and damage them with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could like bump into trees and boxes and stuff, but no enemies, right?
You take damage if you hit enemies with it, as far as I know. But
Yeah, just call it roll.
why did I do this to myself?
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, so the water temple.
Yep.
Yeah, it's too bad we
Well-
didn't start with the water temple, right?
Oh well.
That would have been crazy.
Oh well. Again, I think that the hate this dungeon gets is so overhyped. Just to go full circle on
mean,
our discussion today.
I think it's really just about that if you played this as a kid, it was more difficult than the other dungeons.
And I mean, it only
It-
comes down to that one center platform, like we talked about, though. Because again, I never found this dungeon difficult because
Yeah.
I found that my first playthrough. So
Yeah.
it was never a thing that I had to look for. Like I just knew it was there.
And mostly, I think, too, the presence of some annoying enemies, like when these tektites hit you when you're trying to climb up, and or the like around, or the rolling spike balls on the ground. Like, it's just little nuisances, and if you're confused and trying to like just kind of walk around or look and explore the space and figure out your options,
Yep.
it gets frustrating.
No,
you
I mean
know?
it can. It definitely can.
So,
The hook shot climb at the end or in one of the areas is really fun for me though. Like I thought that was
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, I mean, we talked about it before, but just having the menu to do this all the time is just absolutely the worst aspect of this dungeon. Like the iron boots should have been an equipable item instead of
I mean, starting
equipment
with
item.
Wind Waker, that's what they did. They were
Yep.
like, all right, it's an item.
Yep, exactly.
well, and it's so funny too because you're like, the bottle is an equipable item, and the bottle is something that I would say makes more sense as like a come into the menu and access item.
Yeah, yeah, agreed.
Anyways, what else is there left to talk about with this game?
I mean, not really a whole lot. Like visually, if you play the 3DS version, it gives you a really nice overhaul in the visuals. It gives you the smoother frame rate. It's definitely the like preferable way to play through the game these days to me. Just because it just looks so much better, and you can emulate it really well on Azahar, so you can even get that on your big screen and make it look really nice. But like even going back to the original N64 version, like they gave this game a lot of visual polish. Like it still looks really good. And again, you can emulate it to get higher resolution out of it, but I mean, then you get the problem with the pre-rendered backgrounds, like Will was saying earlier. But like even just playing it in its raw N64 form, as long as you could play it on a CRT or give it good scanline effects, like the game still looks absolutely beautiful even now. As long as you're into the retro aesthetic, I suppose. But I think that the most important part to me though is that just the gameplay holds up so incredibly well. Like it was so well designed that you could come back to it nearly 30 years later and it is still a fun experience. Like it's still going to puzzle you, it's still going to be a challenge. It is not fake difficult hard like a lot of older games are, and I think that is a key element as well. It's like this game is a true challenge. Your skills are important, and if it's too easy, play Master Quest, then you can be challenged even more. But never at any point is it cheap shotting you just for the sake of cheap shotting you and causing you to die. Like, it is truly, you're going to learn the mechanics, you're going to master it, you're going to succeed. We're not going to just, here's this one hit kill thing. Suck it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And so I think that is why this game is timeless. I think that is why it is still talked about. I think that is why it still shows up in top 10s of 100 best games ever made and all that. Because it holds up. It was that good. Like, people say it's overhyped, and it's like, yeah, it is a little bit overhyped, but it deserved it because it accomplished that. Like, you think about any other game like this, like you think of any other Zelda formulatic style games that came out in this time period, you can't really think of any that actually like hold up, that actually still get talked about. I can't even think of any off the top of my head, to be honest. Like, what else like this existed at the time? Like, not really much.
Probably just think of Tetris. Tetris is crazy. Maybe not so much the same time period, but
Tetris is timeless. Best puzzle game ever made. Best puzzle game ever made. Easily, hands down.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, but yeah, like that's the thing though. Like, I love the dynamicness of this world as well. Like, Fire or Death Mountain being all on fire before you beat Volvagia, and then after you beat it, it's just the smoke on top of the mountain again. Like, there's just so many subtle details to this game that are so cool. Zora's domain being frozen over, like, there's just so much about this game. Like, obviously, we've been talking about it a long time. We've talked about a lot of different things about it. We've gone off topic a couple times, but like the straight gist of this game is that, like, this game is almost 30 years old. Anybody can pick this game up and play it today, and it is still just as enjoyable as it was in 1998. It can still be just as mind-blowing to anyone that doesn't know the plot or the story. And that's, you can't say that about a lot of games. So it's like Chrono Trigger. Like, it's overhyped, but it deserves every ounce of the praise it gets because it really was that well made. And the only people that are going to say otherwise just want to be contrarian and negative, honestly, because it's like, yes, it's not perfect, but what are its faults that actually make it unplayable? There aren't any. And if someone comes up with one, it's probably usually BS, and you're like, okay, I can't take your opinion seriously anyway. And it's like, I hate giving games that much universal praise, to be honest. Like, I really don't like it, but there are a lot of games in the course of history that are like, yeah, there really is nothing so egregiously wrong with this game that it doesn't stand the test of time. So, I mean, Ocarina of Time, Super Metroid, like Mario 3 and Super Mario World to a degree. Like, these are all very timeless experiences despite their age, and it's amazing. And makes it even more impressive considering this was the first 3D Zelda game. Because, like, you think about every other Zelda game that's come out since this, and it's like, yeah, Wind Waker. I love Wind Waker. It's my favorite Zelda game personally, but the fetch quest sucks so bad at the end. Twilight Princess, I don't care for most of that game. Skyward Sword, again, don't really care for a lot of that game either. And it's like, no, they got it right the first time, and it went downhill since. And, like, you'll have the people that debate between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, which one's the better one. So it's like, you know what, that's fine. Like, those are both on a very high plane, and it just got worse since.
Yeah, that's where I think Wind Waker HD comes in for the save, drastically shortening the fetch quest and also giving us the quick sale.
Yeah, Wind Waker HD was really nice.
Thank you, Nintendo, for bringing Wind Waker HD to Switch in such a quick, timely manner. Thank you so much, Nintendo, for that.
Yeah, Nintendo, how about if we put every single Legend of Zelda game on the Switch? Cool, including Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. It's like,
see, I'm the only person in the world that was not bothered by that.
Well, mostly it's just weird that they ported almost every single first-party Wii U title to the Switch, and those were the ones that they excluded.
It's true. But at the same time, we had both of those games on every single console generation.
It didn't stop them from Ocarina of Time and a bunch of other stuff, man.
It didn't. I'm not disagreeing. It didn't.
It's just again, it comes down to that it's very odd, again, that they were porting, like, lift and shift the entire Wii U library over, with a very few exceptions, and 2 of very popular Legend of Zelda games didn't make the cut. That's
Yeah,
very confusing.
it is.
Yeah, it
It
seemed like the
really
most
is.
obvious thing, right? It's like, okay, we're getting
Yeah.
that, obviously, and yet no, it wasn't obvious at all.
No,
And then Nintendo said, "Here's Skyward Sword," and, like, everyone was frothing at the mouth like, "This is it. Like, they're clearly gonna do these other 2." It's like,
Yeah,
"Nope.
no,
LOL, no."
yeah.
no, no.
But,
Nah, see, I was
uh
the only person that
oh,
wasn't bothered by that. It was the Resident Evil 4 thing. It's like I've already played this game on 3 systems. I don't need to play it again. Whereas Resident Evil 4 has been on like 32 systems at this point, and that's only a slight exaggeration.
God.
Now
yeah.
you need to think about Resident Evil
So
4, GameCube, Wii, PS2, PC twice, um, the iPhone port, the whatever that other handheld port was thing.
N-Gage.
Not N-Gage, it was
No.
some other weird thing.
Engage?
No. Then you got the PS3 port, the 360 port, which were the HD ports. And then they got the Xbox One and PS4 ports. So we're up to 11. And then they did a full-on remake for it. And it's like this game has literally come out every single year since it had been invented on a different system. And the
It's kind of
best
an
version of that
approach.
game to play to this date is still the Wii version, which is kind of really funny to think about.
Alright.
But
So, are we at scoring time?
yeah, I think we can do our closing thoughts here. That sounds good to me. Will, you want to lead us off on this one? Since you gave Mega Man
Sure.
X2 a 3?
I think I'm gonna give this maybe like a 2, I'm thinking. What are we thinking?
A little
Yes.
generous. Yeah.
So generous. A 2 out of 1.
No. That's super good, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
Yeah, so again, this game is incredibly influential. I think it's responsible for where Zelda is now in modern times. All these other Zelda games have been piggybacking off of Ocarina of Time. The nostalgia factor of it, I think that does play into it. Again, I think that if this game was released now, of course, people would be, having issues with it. But it's one of my favorite games. Playing it again as an adult, you do see more of the flaws coming through. Like I'm saying, with like you're walking around JPEGs, the textures. It's best to play it on a CRT. So I think modern rating I would give it would probably be like an 8. I liked it, and if they make another remake of it, hopefully, they could make it a real modern take on this. So yeah, definitely give it 2 thumbs up, and really good game.
Yep. I can agree with most of those points, but at the same time, like, I think the technical limitations of having to use pre-rendered scenes in those certain areas are like clever workarounds to make the game feel more epic than it could have otherwise. Because
Yeah,
you think about the rendering budget in Castletown, like the N64 would not have been able to render all those buildings in a
no
nice
shot,
way. But like I
especially with all the
agree
people in there
with
and whatnot.
yeah, I mean I agree with most of your points wholeheartedly as well. Like but that I mean again that's the thing, like if this game had been released today, it wouldn't look like this. Like it would look like a modern game and those limitations wouldn't have been there. So I mean, it's very curious to think about. But yeah. Personally, I still think this is like a 9 out of 10 game. Just give it a little bit of a downgrade for some of the jank and the Z targeting and things like that that don't hold up as nicely as you wish they did, but like otherwise, gameplay, exploration, like I still think this is an easy 9 out of 10 game. Nostalgia aside. Because like if I'm actually going off of how I feel to play it, it's like a 7 out of 10 for me now, just because I've overplayed it. But like I think it's a 9 out of 10 game personally.
And it's funny because you went the 9 and he went with the 8. I had already been thinking ahead, and I was like, I think I'm giving this like an 8.5. and I'm deducting points for Navi, who we haven't talked about.
Yeah,
but
that's true. We didn't talk
it,
about Navi.
it had, because we wanted to block her from our minds, and she's almost worth deducting a full point by herself.
So
And
that's what's
then I
funny. She
throw
hasn't been
in,
bothering me this playthrough, like since I've been playing this. Like she hasn't bothered me at all. It's when you're a kid that she's a real pain in the
yes,
butt.
you mean when at the start of the game and you want to play the game and she keeps talking every
Yeah.
2 seconds?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, what's his name? Gabora, whatever,
Oh, the owl.
But
Yep.
yeah, the owl, likes the camera, when you're trying to do fine walking. It's, just lots of small things that add up, but I'm taking this down to like an 8.5. Still a good game, still
Yeah.
worth
Yeah.
playing, but the things that are bad just like feel accentuated by how good everything else is.
Yeah. And I mean, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, not perfect. It's got
No.
some rough edges, but nothing that like really hinders it all too much. Just some things that are like, man, it would be great
Yep.
if
And
this was
again,
different.
a lot
I'll
of those
say,
quality of life improvements came in the 3DS version.
yeah, and that's the thing I'll say too. I could understand when you compare it to other products of the time, why Famitsu felt that this was the one that earned a perfect score.
Yeah. Not those.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It really does. Like, obviously, it's a product of its time, but again, it just did it so well. And I'm kind of just wandering around here because I'm not actually trying to beat this dungeon at the moment. So I've just been wandering around like a
No,
fool.
we're doing wrap up thoughts.
Yeah, I've just been wandering
Yeah.
around here.
We got to tie this off at some point.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think this game is a must play for anyone that plays games. Like if you have not played Ocarina of Time, like it is definitely deserving of its like games you must play before you die type of standing. Like it's just
I would agree with that.
it is good. Like it is so good. Like it may feel limited just because of its age, but even then it's like not really. Like you're still getting the full on like 10 dungeon experience out of it. Especially when you add in the little mini dungeon I just did to get the iron boots. Like there's a lot in this freaking game.
And Ganon's Tower, yeah, it's
Yeah,
basically
Ganon's
like
Tower is
7.
really cool. I love how
Yeah.
Ganon's Tower is set up. Like that is so fun. Like it actually makes in-game feel enjoyable to a degree. Already went down here. Again, I'm not even paying attention to what I'm actually doing in this right now.
It's a water
But
temple.
yeah.
It's like a maze.
Well, I mean,
Alright.
it is a maze like all dungeons are supposed to be. So, I mean, I would classify Water Temple as maybe the best Zelda dungeon ever made because it did confuse everybody that bad.
Oh man, now you rage baiting. But that's fine. That's how we ought to end this podcast, anyways, is with a rage bait. There you go.
Yeah, right.
Water Temple's the best dungeon ever made in all of Zelda.
Mic drop.
Anyway, Wiz, Will, thank you so much for joining me this month for our 4-year anniversary of Game of the Month and talking about this amazing classic, Ocarina of Time. Just truly outstanding game and just one of the best games of all time. And that's just not even my opinion. That's just verifiable fact right there.
Objective.
Objective, exactly. All right, but thank you all for tuning in. For anybody that has made it through this 2.5 hour podcast today, appreciate you all. Thank you for that. But we'll see you all back next month for something. I don't even know what. Maybe we can finally get something PlayStation going on in here. It's been a while. We've been doing mostly Nintendo stuff because we got a lot of Nintendo fanboys in my channel. Let's go. Love it. All right, but until next time, everybody, we'll see you soon. Take care.